unpacked the suitcase yet.
What?
I went next door to see if Loretta unpacked the suitcase, but she hasn't.
How could she not do it? It's been 6 weeks since she... Heather, could you move back a little? What is that all over your legs and a third of your dress?
Mud?
Mud?
Maybe it's not mud. It smells like something else.
Oh, Heather. How did you get so much something else on you?
Well, I tried to jump over the hole they're digging in front of our house, but I didn't make it.
You mean they're digging a hole in front of our house?
A big one.
What, are they widening the street?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because they're only doing it in front of our house. It's a big hole. Right where the space where our front lawn used to be.
Oh. Will you stop it? Stop it out there! Stop it! Stop it! I need the suitcases, Heather! I need the suitcases!
Loretta said she'd unpack them and bring them over.
What?
Loretta said she'd unpack them and bring them over.
Well, tell them I need them now! I need them now! I'm going to New York, and I need my suitcases!
She said she'd bring them over after Mr. Jeter leaves.
Well, what is Mr. Jeter doing there?
I don't know.
Never mind, Heather, never mind. I want you to hate gossip. Now go inside. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Now go inside and get rid of that stuff on your legs. It just looks disgusting, and you could grow up with that stuff on your legs. It's very unattractive for a girl to have legs like that. Now go in there and use some Lysol, because you can be sure that something else has a lot of germs in it.
Martha, why can't you leave the peanut butter in one place?
Don't eat peanut butter, Grandpa. You'll spoil your appetite for breakfast.
Oh, I had breakfast an hour ago and you were all still sleeping. I had to get up 7 times last night to go to the bathroom. I got so worn out walking from the bedroom to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the bedroom, from the bedroom to the bathroom, that I figured it'd be less strain to get up and stay up.
I've got a surefire cure for them nighttime calls.
Well, don't tell it to me. I got nothing to do in the daytime. At least those nighttime calls give me something to do. Where is the peanut butter?
Pa, there isn't any.
Double damnation.
I didn't know you liked peanut butter.
That's not what I'm mad at. It's this article in here about the government selling land around the Scioto River to an electric plant. Well, that's treaty land, Indian land. What happens to the Indians' fishing rights?
There are no Indians in Fernwood.
There are no Eskimos here either. But that doesn't mean the government can take their rights away.
What rights?
Any rights.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No, but right is right.
It's the principle of the thing. The government's always doing something like that to us Indians. Taking away our rights and then making fancy speeches about trying to raise the standard of living. Well, fresh fish is part of the standard of living.
So is peanut butter.
I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to sit in.
Sit in what?
I'm going to stage a sit-in right on the banks of the Scioto River. Somebody's got to protest, and I'm the only Choctaw around here.
Well, what about me?
You're no Choctaw.
Well, I'm half Choctaw.
Well, what are you going to do, squat in?
If it's a Choctaw fight, then it's my fight. Yee-hoo!
That's the spirit of the tribe. Where is the Scioto River?
It's not far from here. I'll show you. Come on.
Well, come on, let's go. We got to get there and start sitting before they come around with their bulldozers and start digging up our rights.
Come on, I'll go with you.
No, Pa, you're not an Indian. You don't have to go.
Well, I've got nothing to do anyway. I can't even make a peanut butter sandwich.
Surprise!
Baby boy, honey, what are you doing home?
Well, I just thought that I would come home for lunch for a change, and for whatever else nice that I can think of if we have any time.
Oh, Well, we always got time for that, baby boy. Oh, but right now, honey, I gotta finish packing this suitcase. We're unpacking it. Remember, this is one we borrowed from Mary, you know, to go to Hollywood in, and she needs it to go to New York.
What is that thing, that TV? What is that, the American typical consumer housewife what?
Right.
Well,
American
honey, hurry
typical.
up, hurry up. Now, come on, because maybe I won't even have lunch. Maybe I'll just have dessert, you know. Honey, come on, don't dawdle. It's time's a wasting. Get
Baby
moving.
boy, I just remembered something. I got something to tell you that you are gonna love hearing.
The only thing I'm going to love to hear is the door slamming when you get home. Now, come on, move.
Charlie Haggers, is that all you ever think about?
Don't you?
Well, yeah, but listen, hon, I got this thing. I mean, hon, I am definite and positive on my way to becoming a superstar again.
I never doubted that for a minute.
But, honey, this time I've got a specific way, a shortcut.
How do you mean?
Well, you know how my record, Vitamin L, hadn't really been doing that good on the charts and
Honey,
everything?
I know that, but you shouldn't worry
Well,
about it.
I got a way. I got a way now, hon, to where I can expose myself and the record before thousands and millions of people and get $1 million recording contract.
Honey, that's just great if it's true.
It's true, Charlie. It is definitely true. See, how I got it, how the opportunity come about and everything, is that I can do my entire act before thousands and millions of people at the revival in Chicago with Reverend Jimmy Joe.
And with Merle.
Well, yeah, there's going to be Merle because, you know, Reverend Jimmy Joe's really too young to travel by himself, you know. And, of course, it was all Merle's idea.
Oh, I just bet it was.
Charlie, honey, don't you see? I mean, they're going to build my country in Western Act. The revival's going to be built around it, you know, but me, my act, that's going to be the best thing. And the featured act, isn't it something?
Are you going to get to do your whole act?
Every heart-wrenching number, baby boy, including baby boy.
Well, I know it's a big temptation, honey. It's a... We talked about this, though. I mean, we decided that you weren't going to have anything more to do with Merle and the Worldwide Missionary Center.
Charlie, honey, Merle ain't got no dishonorable intentions towards me. And if he did, hon, I remember what you taught me, just one good kick, you know, and the right to mangle any man who just dares lay a finger on this sweet little body of mine. Except yours, of course.
Honey, I know that. I don't have the puniest little doubt about your fidelities and all. It's just that
Charlie, listen to me, honey. Think of it. Here I am, center stage, spotlights beaming down on me, thousands and millions of people looking at me, listening to me, snapping their fingers, tapping their toes at me. Honey, it's gonna be fabulous. I mean, think about it. I mean, everything, our dreams, our hopes, our prayers, our ambitions, they'll all be answered, honey. It's just like the first step on the stairway to superstardom. It is, Charlie, it really is. I mean, it's just the wang-doodled, foot-stomping, glory-busting, hooting and hollering. Honey, it's a ticket to glory and fame. That's it.
honey, it is just so good to see you so double-barreled enthusiastic that I'd have to be a man with a heart of stone to say no to you.
Then I can go.
Yeah, that's exactly and precisely what I mean. You can go.
Charlie, I love it. Oh, I love you, honey.
Hello, Ed.
I
Kind of figured you dropped in here after work. Well, I guess it's as good a place to talk as any.
don't think you and I have much left to talk about, Howard.
I think we do, Ed.
Like what?
Like whatever you heard from whoever you heard it, it's not true. Mary and I are friends, and nothing else, that's it.
Oh?
It's the truth, Ed. My mother tried to set up things so that it would be different, which was a pretty rotten thing to do, but I'll tell you something. I'm glad she did.
Why?
Because you ended up walking out, and that brought me to my senses. It proved to me once and for all just how much there is between us, Ed.
I just wish I could be sure you mean that, Howard.
I do, Ed. I mean it so much, I sent my mother away.
On the level?
Yep. I sent her to live with her sister in San Diego.
California?
California.
But why did you do that, Howard?
Because I wanted you to come back. Look, we do not have to lie anymore. We do not have to sneak around. I'm going to come out of the closet.
All the way out?
All the way. You said something about making it legal?
Marriage?
Marriage. If the offer's still good, the answer is yes.
Yeah, the offer's still good.
No, 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 no. I don't care if you're the Department of Water and Power. I don't care. I am not paying a $225 assessment for a sewer improvement. I mean, I don't care if my sewer's improved. Have you ever looked at a sewer? I mean, what's so good about a sewer? And what about my front lawn? Do you know I have a hole in my front lawn? It must be 10 feet deep. Do you know that a person could fall in there and get lost in there? And aside from that, the noise that's going on around this place, I mean, I can't believe the noise. It's driving me out of my mind. It is all day long. It's so late. Here, you hear that? Hey, you hear that? You hear that? Huh? Now, is that a way for a person to have to live in the United States of America, which is I... What? What did you say? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you hold the wire a minute? Can you hold the wire? Hold the wire. Hold it. Okay. Can you keep it down? You're driving me crazy! Okay, hold on. Okay, hello? Can you keep it quiet? Quiet in there! Okay, just quiet in there. Okay, now listen, okay? Let's be civilized about this whole thing, okay? Let's be civilized, dignified, and quiet about it. My husband and I are not going to pay the $225 assessment. That is all there is to it. We are taxpayers. This is a civilized country, and we are not going to pay it, and that's all there is to it. What? What? Why should I go look at my water? I know what my water looks like. It's watercolor. All right. Hold on. I'll go look at my water. Hold on. Hello? Where do I send the check for the assessment? All right. Bye.
Mary, honey, you home? You upstairs?
I'm in the bedroom.
What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking it. I'm just looking at this, waiting to see if it's gonna rot the glass.
I brought your suitcase back.
Oh, Loretta, what happened?
Sorry about the mud mess. See, Mary, I was jumping across, you know, that giant trench that you got in the front of your house, which does make it look just a teeny bit like a battlefield in World War I. Anyway, I was jumping across it, and I made it, but the suitcase didn't. But, hon, I'm going to take it in the bathroom, I'll wash it off, and it'll be just as good as new, okay?
Loretta.
Yeah.
You better use Lysol.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, don't just sit there. Go back to work. What? What?
I said that I'm going out of town, too. I'm going to go to Chicago.
Oh, that sneaky Merle Jeter.
Sneaky? Mary, he's not sneaky. I mean, true, he's a bit backslid, but he's not sneaky. I mean, and he is anxious for salvation, Mary. But anyway, besides him, it's a great start for my career.
Loretta, I don't trust that man. That man spells disaster. And take it from me, I know disaster. Trust me.
Well, I'd like to take it from you, Mary, and I'd like to trust you, you know, but lately, your judgment on men, particularly, hadn't been all that great, you know. I mean, it really hadn't. I mean, let's face it, you was real wrong about Sergeant Foley, and you've messed up pretty bad on Tom, if you'll excuse my saying so, of course.
Well, it's hard to excuse, Loretta.
Well, the thing is, Mary, you see, I'm in show business, and you're not. And so you probably wouldn't understand these things, you know?
Oh, what are you saying? I don't know about men. I don't know about show business. I don't know about me. What am I, a big dummy?
I didn't say that, Mary.
Well, you implied it. You implied I'm a big dummy.
Well, I didn't mean to imply it, Mary, but, you know, maybe if you thought that I was implying it, it was because, like my granddaddy used to say, see, he made this phrase up, he said it all the time, if the shoe fits, Mary, wear it.
Loretta, do not go to Chicago with Merle Jeter.
Mary, do not tell me how to run my career.
Loretta, we are having a fight. We are having our first fight. We are best friends, and we are having our first fight.
Yeah, I think we are, Mary. I think you're absolutely right. But, you know, I think that maybe the thing that's wrong is that we don't have so much in common as we thought. You know, maybe we just ain't best friends, really, like we was thinking. I got to go, Mary.
Aren't you going to wish me good luck in New York?
Sure. Good luck in New York, Mary.
Okay. Good luck in Chicago, Loretta, even though I think you're making a big mistake.
Thanks a lot, Mary.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
lot.
You're welcome.
Mary!
I'm up here.
Oh, Mary?
What, are you crazy? What, am I crazy? What are you doing?
We are on our way to the Scioto River to protest our fishing rights. We just came by to say goodbye. Mary, it's almost time for you to leave for the airport and you haven't packed your things.
Oh, no, Ma, I feel just, awful. I mean, everything's been going wrong, and I don't feel in any condition to travel or to go to New York or anything. I just don't think I can make it. I really don't.
Oh, Mary, that's nonsense. You'll forget all about your troubles in New York, the Great White Way. Get on that Manhattan merry-go-round. Remember me to old Broadway. Yes. Hear that beat of those dancing feet on the avenue. I'm taking you to 42nd Street. Yeah.
There's your taxi, Mary.
No, I really don't think that I can go. I mean, I don't know. Tom is out somewhere just drinking. I don't know where Tom is. No, don't pack my... Heather hates me, and I just lost my best friend, and my sister wishes that she weren't my sister, and I've ruined Howard's life. I ruined Howard's life, and everything is going...
Oh, Mary, everything is gonna be all right. Here, Paul, take that.
Come along. Come along.
The warrior says everything is darker just before dawn.
Oh, no, there's the phone. I don't want to answer it because maybe it's going to be more bad luck.
Oh, I'll get it, Mary. Close that, Paul. I'll get it for you, Mary.
No, it's okay, Mom.
It's probably the airport calling about your flight. Hello? No, this is her mother. What? Oh, it is? Well, I'll tell her. Thanks, and goodbye. It was the Department of Power and Water.
What now?
Well, it is kind of a little bit of bad news.
I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Well, actually, they made a little mistake, and they bored a hole into the water pipe, your water pipe, and now the water is going into the cellar, and the house has to be evacuated. But Mary, look on the bright side. You were leaving anyway, so don't worry about anything. George, your father, I will have him come over and take care of everything.
Yeah, let George do it. That's a white man expression for things that never get done. I understand it now, having known George Shumway.
It's gonna be just fine.
Mama, 10 years of bad luck.
No, just 7. But they'll be over before you know it. Come on now, Mary. You get out to that house. Come on, you have everything. Open that door. Let me open that door for you. That's right. Now, be a good girl. Wait, Paul. Wait, Paul.
Now here are some scenes from the next episodes of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Tom, what happened?
I think about you every day.
Yeah, well, I guess she ran away for good this time.
A little piano.
The show is going to be a beauty. The film's all edited. It looks great. We've got a terrific panel lined up for you. David Suskind's moderating. We've got Shirley Steen, the noted feminist.
Oh, she the one with the tinted glasses?
No, that's Gloria Steinem. Shirley wears contacts. Then we've got Norman Nardine, the consumer advocate, and Tucker McMarshall, the media expert. And you.
God, with all those experts, I mean, what if I have nothing to say?
Oh, well, that's what we're hoping. I mean, you're America's typical consumer housewife. I tell you, Mrs. Hartman, this show is really gonna grab the numbers.
What?
Ratings. Network is very high on it. Oh, excuse me. Hello? Yes. Yes, she is. It's your husband.
Really? It's for me? Tom?
Mary, hi.
Hi, Tom. How'd you know where I was?
I just, I got your number from New York Information. I just took a little chance, thought I'd call you, and wish you good luck on the show tonight. That's all.
Tom, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine. Hey, guess what? I got myself a new job pumping gas.
Oh, Tom, that's wonderful.
Only I lost it.
Tom, what happened?
I had a little disagreement with the manager, just a little one.
Oh, were you drinking?
Hey, what kind of question is that? What kind of question is that?
I'm sorry, Tom. I just, I worry and,
Yeah, I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm okay.
Did you talk to Heather?
Heather, she's a Trudy. She's fine.
And Ma?
Oh, yeah, your mother. She didn't come back from that sit-in with Billy 12th.
What? You mean she hasn't been home all night? Well, where is she? I mean, where are they?
Wait a minute, Mary. Let me tell you. She was last seen boarding a Trailways bus with 26 other Indians and a collapsible teepee on their way to Columbus. See?
I just want to ask you a question. Are you drunk?
Hey, Mary, come on. Sweetheart, I just called you to tell you I love you. And I want to tell you that I just love you. I love you, blue eyes.
Oh, Tom. I love you too. Tom? 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 Tom! Tom, look, I'm sorry. Disconnected. Please, we've been disconnected. Please, we've been disconnected. You have to connect us again. We've been disconnected.
Mrs. Hartman,
What?
You want me to get him back for you?
I don't know where to reach him. I don't know where he is now. Look, you don't understand. I don't know where to reach him. I don't know where he is. My mother is missing. You see, my husband, he just lost his job, and he's been drinking, and my best friend is very mad at me, and I think my house is probably floating away now.
It's just nerves, Mrs. Hartman. Just nerves. I got a great idea for you. I think you ought to go down to Fifth Avenue and browse around, take a look at the shops. There's Saks, there's Gucci, there's Tiffany's. It'll give you something to do until the run-through. Excuse me. Hello? Yes. Yeah, Tech at 3. Right. Sure. She'll be there.
Okay, so I'll just do some shopping now, all alone in New York.
Good morning.
Frank.
Is it okay if I come in?
Well, I'm on my way to work, but, yeah, sure.
I know you're coming to the rectory later this afternoon for instruction, but what I have to say can't wait.
I'm not coming.
Oh? You look upset.
Yeah, well, you see, not only Clete, but my mother is missing.
Missing?
Yeah, we think she's on a bus with Grandpa Billy going to Columbus, you know, to help with the Indians' fishing rights.
Wait a minute, what fishing rights?
Oh, well, you see, you know, the Scioto River, it used to be owned by the Indians, and now this big power plant is dumping stuff into it, and it's polluting the river, and...
Oh, I see. Well, good for your mother. And your grandfather, too.
Don't say that around the house. My father is fit to be tied.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, listen, it's nice seeing you, but what are you doing here?
I talked to Clete.
Oh, listen, if you're trying to patch things up between Clete and I, forget it. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to marry a man who just doesn't consider me at all. I mean, he treats me like an object. He picked out the house, how many children we were going to have. He never thought of me at all. I just cannot live like that.
I didn't come here to discuss Clete Meisenheimer.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Kathy, I've been doing a lot of thinking ever since I met you. I guess I had doubts before, doubts about committing my life to the priesthood. But now, I'm absolutely sure that there are feelings inside me that I've been suppressing, and I just don't think I can anymore.
Don't you think you should be telling this maybe to Father or Hurley?
No, I will. But first I want to tell you.
About your doubts?
About my feelings. I thought I'd changed. I thought, well, that I was a different person. I mean, I used to be kind of, well, you know, a Romeo in school. But then I turned to the church, and I thought that once I made that choice that I would never... Kathy, what I'm trying to say is that I haven't changed.
You're still a Romeo?
No. I'm talking about you, Kathy, and the feelings I have for you.
Well, I think I better sit down.
I've never met anyone like you. I mean, you're lovely. You're very special. And when Clete asked me for advice on how to get you to marry him, well, there's just no way I can stand by and let anybody marry you without telling you how much you've affected me.
But you said anything like that was impossible.
Yeah, I know it is. I know. I've taken vows.
But then how?
I don't know. I don't know, Kathy. All I know is that I'm not able to forget you. I think about you every day.
You do?
Yes. I love you, Kathy.
You can't. I mean, you mustn't. I can't be blamed. I can't take responsibility for that.
I know. But I just had to say it. I love you.
Martha? Martha? Anybody home?
There's nobody home unless you call me somebody.
No. Did she call you? Did Martha call? She's not here?
No.
Have you been here all day?
Well, ever since I came back from my walk this morning.
Well, how long were you gone?
Well, long enough to play a game of checkers with the crossing guard at the Mary Jane Elementary.
She could have called by then.
Don't you want to know who won?
Listen, I am concerned about my wife, your daughter.
Oh, she's only my adopted daughter.
Who is off on a bus with a bunch of Indians to God knows where.
Yeah, well, I guess she ran away for good this time.
Now, what does that mean this time? She's never gone away before.
Oh, sure, she's always run away when she was a kid. She always was back by supper time.
You know something? This is all because of that new father of hers. Billy 12 Trees.
The tall tales. Even his name is an exaggeration.
Yeah. What?
Well, why 12 trees? Why not 1 tree or 2 trees?
You know something? I wish she'd have never found out that she was adopted. That way she wouldn't have been looking for him, and better yet, she wouldn't have found him.
Well, don't blame me.
Well, I'm not blaming you. You know something? You're not a bad old coot. At least you never got Martha into trouble like this. I guess I owe you an apology.
Yeah? Well, that don't mean I have to accept it. I think I'll make myself a peanut butter sandwich. Oh, look, there's a note here of some kind.
What is that from Martha? Dear Mom, if you ever come back, and Dad, have just made the most important decision of my life. See you later. Love, Kathy. Now, what's that supposed to mean? What decision is that? I thought you broke up with Cleet.
Well, I think it has something to do with that priest fella.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What's wrong with this family? Do you know the only sane person in this family? Mary. That reminds me, she's going to be on television tonight. Oh, I bet she's having a ball in New York.
Hello.
Oh.
Can I help you?
Oh, no, I'm just browsing. Oh, thank you. Gee, I love your store. It's just so, nice and pretty and peaceful and quiet.
Yes, it's been rather slow today. Well, if you want any help or you have any questions to ask.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I do have, one question.
Oh, what?
Could you tell me what time it is?
5 of 5. We close at 5.
Oh, I see. See, normally I don't care that much about the time, but today I'm going to be on television, so I don't want to be late.
Oh, are you somebody?
Oh, no, I'm just Mary Hartman.
What is the show, Mrs. Hartman?
Oh, it's the David Susskind Show.
Oh, really? As what?
Oh, as Mary Hartman. I'll be me.
So you're the typical American housewife.
Yes, but I'll just be browsing. But definitely with an eye to buy. Definitely with an eye to buy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. America's typical consumer housewife may be about to buy. Yes, she is going to buy. She is definitely going to buy. And for her purchase in this lovely store, she is going to buy this beautiful dollhouse
for her little girl, Heather. As a matter of fact, that dollhouse is exactly what the typical American consumer housewife has been looking for. As a matter of fact, as she walked by it, it just seemed to reach out and say, "Buy me." So I will take it. I mean, I will buy it. America's typical consumer housewife will buy this doll's house for America's typical consumer housewife's daughter.
Now, we have some other doll houses.
This doll's house is perfect.
Perhaps you'd like to see some of those. The other doll houses are much more modern.
No.
They include a den with a wet bar.
No, I'm sorry, that's all wrong, that's all wrong. Do you mind if I move the people around in here? Do you mind that?
Well, not if you're careful.
Okay, I will be. I'll be very careful. Do you have any Scotch tape?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I just like a little Scotch tape. You see, the people, the father, this is all wrong here. The father and the mother should both be in the same room. They should be in the bedroom. And what I would do is I would just, for the meantime, just tape them down here, and they would just sit there, and then he would sit here. Now, the little girl, which I'm about to get to, the little girl belongs in her room. I mean, now, in her room, in the little girl's room, are all her little toys and all her little, oh, look, little binoculars in there and all her little clothes. Oh, and look at that. Little kids. Look at those. Is that adorable little kid?
And very authentic.
And very healthy. Much healthier than platform shoes.
This dollhouse is for your daughter, isn't it?
Yes, my daughter's name is Heather. She's, I can't tell you how much she's gonna love this house. I mean, look at it. Look at it. There are just no plumbing problems. And look at the father. I mean, clearly that man does not have a drinking problem. I mean, and they're all so happy.
If your daughter is 12, now, don't you think that she just might be a little, old for a dollhouse?
You know what I think we should do now? I think we should move them all into the dining room for dinner. Is that all right? I just hope that we have enough Scotch tape.
Mrs. Hartman, I'm sorry, but it's closing time. And if you want to make a purchase...
Oh, yes, I do. I want the dollhouse.
I'm sorry, but this dollhouse is not for sale.
Oh, no, please. Oh, no. Oh, no, you have no idea how important this is to me. I want this doll's house.
Sorry. But it's not for sale.
I know, but I have to have this doll's house.
I'm sorry, but these are the rules.
I know, but you can break the rules. I mean, you work here. You can break the rules.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
But why?
Mrs. Hartman, if you'll excuse me, I have another customer to get to.
I'm not leaving without the doll's house.
Perhaps if you could come back tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow. I can't come back. I won't be here.
I'm sorry, but the store is closing.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not leaving without my doll's house. Oh, look. A piano. A little piano.
George! Paul! Is anybody home?
Martha! Where in the devil have you been?
Oh, George, the most awful thing happened.
I know.
You mean Paul's home?
Yes, he's in the living room watching The Last of the Mohicans. Martha, where have you been?
Oh, that is such a relief. You see, we were going down to Columbus, you know, for that city in the Indian city and on the Capitol steps about the fishing rights along the Scioto River. And we stopped at a bus stop, you know, because I had to go to the little girl's room. And when I came out, Paul was gone. And I just didn't know what to do. So I climbed back onto the bus and waited, and we waited. And suddenly I realized that it was not only Pa who was missing, along with some other Choctaws, but there were some Cherokees who were also missing.
Well, of
and
course.
I grew very fearful because I thought they might be off rumbling someplace.
Of course, Martha. You know the Choctaws and the Cherokees never put it all together.
I know that, George. You don't have to tell me that. So I climbed back onto a bus and came on home because I thought he'd be here, which he is, thank God. Now, I'll just check on him, and then I will get your supper.
Martha, now wait a minute. When I said Grandpa, I meant Grandpa Larkin.
Oh, you mean Grandpa 12 Trees is not here?
That's right.
Well, then what did you mean when I came in and said an awful thing had happened and you said, I know?
I thought you were talking about Kathy.
Huh? Well, what's wrong? What is wrong with Kathy now, George?
Nothing. She just wrote a note saying goodbye forever, that's all.
Oh, do you think she has run off and to marry that priest?
Sorry to barge in, but... Hi,
George.
George.
There's Tom.
Hello, Tom.
How's everything?
Oh, Tom, things could not be worse. I lost Grandpa Billy 12 Trees at a bus stop. Kathy has run away, oh my Lord, and Mary was a nervous wreck when she left for New York this morning. And now Pa and Heather are looking at the last of the Mohicans. And you, oh, you poor thing, you don't look a bit good. Can I fix you some supper?
Well, I want to see Mary on TV. See, because that hole I'm living in, I don't have a TV set.
Oh, well, come on over here, honey, and you sit down right here, and I will get you some coffee.
Okay.
Listen, Tom, we want to help you, you know. And why don't you consider going to that alcoholism club at work?
George, wait a minute, George. Don't you understand something now? Look, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want that crummy job anymore. I don't want that crummy alcoholism program. I'm not an alcoholic. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have come here. I knew I shouldn't have.
We just wanted to help you, Tom.
Oh, get off my aching back. I just want to help. Get off.
Tom Hartman, you come right back here. I know you have your differences with George and Mary, but you are not going to leave this room without as much as giving me a goodbye kiss. There, that's better.
Oh. Goodbye, Mom, George.
If you change your mind.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, Tom, sweetheart, and please try to stop drinking, please, and please don't drive your car.
Okay, Mom, okay.
Sweetheart.
You know something, Martha? I think you're actually starting to get through to him.
Oh, I hope so.
Martha, I'm going to tell you something. Do you realize that you have grown to be twice the woman you were when I married you?
Well, maybe that's because I have two fathers. Except one of them is still missing.
Now here are some scenes from the next episodes of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
You may be fine now, but I'm hearing a voice that says my pa's heading for bad trouble.
See, my best friend Mary is going to be on television tonight.
Let's look at the film.
Okay.
let's get this sweater. It's gonna be a great double feature, son. Old Yeller and Call of the Wild.
But, Daddy...
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this. You don't have any money, do you? Here. There you go. Now, look, son, don't stop anywhere along the way, okay? I want you to be very careful. And just remember that the Lord will protect, but it's always good to watch the P's and Q's, okay?
I know he'll protect me, Daddy, but I'm worried what evil force might take a hold of you. I can see now that the devil's wrestling with your soul again. And I think it would be best if I stayed here to save you from the torment, even though I like the treat to the picture show and all.
Yeah, well, son, look, don't worry about me at all, okay? I'm gonna be fine.
You may be fine now, but I'm hearing a voice that says my pa's heading for bad trouble.
Jimmy Joe, look, I'll tell you when you hear voices, okay?
But can't we even say a prayer before I leave?
Come here a minute, son. Now, look, I don't want you to worry about the weakness coming over me this time, okay? Something much more powerful and good is coming over here tonight. Mrs. Haggers. She's coming over here to rehearse her act for our Chicago revival. And I promise you something, son. I promise you here and again that Loretta's gonna make a good mommy for you and a fine wife for your daddy. You can bet on that.
Daddy, that's gambling.
Mrs. Hartman, will you listen to me for a minute, please?
Yes?
This dollhouse is not for sale. It absolutely is not. Now, you have been sitting there for 2 hours staring at it. It's a display, a model.
No, but I desperately have to have this dollhouse. See, it's my daughter's birthday soon. It's for my daughter's birthday. See, and I just must have
But it is not for sale.
Could I see the manager?
I am the manager.
Well, just tell me, what do you want for it? I'll give you anything you want for it. Just tell me, what do you want? I mean, what do you get for it? I mean, I promise I'll get you anything,
It is not
anything.
for sale. And, lady, please, I can't do it. I just can't.
You don't understand.
This dollhouse is not for sale, and it never will be. It belonged to the owner, and she's had it ever since she was a little child. It's just here for promotion.
Well, it sounds shady to me, but I'm not going to report it. I'm just going to buy it. Don't you see? It's exactly what my husband and my daughter and I are looking for. It's exactly what we need. You have no idea how important this is. I mean, it's just everything that we want. We could move in immediately. Could I just have 2 aspirins and a glass of water, please? Thank you. Oh, see, look. A little music box. Heather's music box.
Good morning, darling.
Oh, my sweet.
Thank you for last night, love.
Oh, thank you for all the nights, love. And the dawns, plus the sunrises.
We do go on and on, don't we? So, what's for breakfast this morning?
Mushroom omelet, strawberry crepes, eggs Benedict, and French toast with whipped cream.
Ah, just what I wanted.
And what's in the paper this morning, darling? Anything pleasant?
I'm afraid not, my darling. Just the usual. Mass murders, foolish housewives, fibroid tumors, dead nuns.
Oh, dear Tom. May we always be this far from the eye of the hurricane.
Massage parlor raids, crooked union exposés, perverted old men, social diseases.
The child, my dear.
Good morning, Mother dear. I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Good morning, Father.
How's my princess this morning? Prompt for school, I see.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't want to be late today. I'm to be awarded the school posture prize again.
4th year in a row, isn't it, darling?
5th, Mummy.
Ah, 5th, darling. And the business, Tom? How's the business? Busy?
Perfect, Mary, perfect. What brings a man more happiness in his work? One guess.
His home life.
Got it.
And I love you so very much. And we love you so very much.
And I love you so very much, Father. And I love you so very much, Mummy.
And what will your day be like?
Oh, I imagine just like yours. Perfect. My beloved mother is coming over, and my best friend Loretta is coming over, and we'll probably sit around doing crewling and needle pointing. And then we'll probably launch into a lively discussion of the latest great book seminar.
And how's your father? My chum.
You know, it's very interesting, Tom, but sometimes I think that he and Mother are just as in love as you and I. I mean, it's just too silly.
May I have some more milk? I do so love it.
Well, certainly, darling. Let me get it for you.
No. I'll get it myself. I was just only asking permission.
Have you heard from your sister Kathy lately?
Oh, no. She's not allowed to be writing letters now. This is her novitiate period.
Oh, well. I see. Well, I really must run.
Run? Then why did you buy the Mercedes?
Clever, Mary. Shall I give you a lift, sweetheart?
Oh, how perfect. I shall sit in the back and make phone calls to my friends on the way to school. Goodbye, Mother.
Bye, darling. I
Bye-bye,
love you.
sweetheart.
Bye, darling. I love you. Oh, perfect husband. Oh, perfect daughter. Oh, perfect coffee. Perfect.
Mrs. Hartman! Mrs. Hartman, we've been looking for you everywhere. Saks, Bergdorf's. What are you doing in a toy store?
I think she's been daydreaming. Here's your aspirin.
No, daydream.
Mrs. Hartman, look, we gotta hurry. We're gonna be late.
Oh, okay, then I'll don't bother to wrap it. I'll just take it as it is.
But you cannot take it with you.
No, but I'm not leaving without it. You see, it's my house, you see, and you can't take a person's house away from them in this country.
Mrs. Hartman is in town for the David Susskind show. She's been chosen as America's typical housewife consumer.
Yes, I heard that.
Yes, well, so if you'll just wrap this and charge it to David Susskind, I'll give you the address.
This dollhouse is not for sale.
Look, I don't think you understand. It's for David Susskind.
I understand the house is not for sale.
David Susskind of the David Susskind show.
You mean that David Susskind wants me to have his doll's house? Oh, how wonderful.
Mrs. Hartman, look, you can stand here all night and look at the dollhouse, or you can be on television with David Susskind. Now, which will it be?
Excuse me. I'll be back the next time I'm in town.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Susskind. Tonight, we're going to be transmitting live, coast to coast, a very special program. We're going to take an intimate look into America itself, her hopes, her dreams, her frustrations, and her buying habits. We'll see film taken in the home of one of our guests. We'll have a discussion by a panel of experts. But we'll begin with America's typical consumer housewife herself, Mary Hoffman.
Hartman. That's Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Mary Hartman.
Hartman. Mary, yes.
You're an American consumer.
And a housewife and a mother and a consumer. Oh, and of course an American, yes.
In a couple of moments, we're going to see a film of your life, you know.
Oh, a week in my life. Oh, it won't run a week. It doesn't run a week. It is, they cut that all down. It's about 5 days, but it's a very typical 5 days, right?
Right, but after that, we're going to meet a panel of experts. You're going to meet Shirley Steen, she's a feminist. You're going to meet Norma Nardine, consumer advocate, and Tucker McMarshall, author of The Medium is Extreme, and they're going to ask you some questions.
Oh, by the way, to which I have not been supplied the answers in advance.
Thank you. But before that, though, I wonder if you could tell us a little something about yourself.
What?
Well, anything. Your background, how you enjoy your stay in New York now.
Yes.
What?
Yes, I'm enjoying my stay in New York. I am a typical tourist, and I am facing the typical tourist problems, you know, like I'm feeling a little lost and a little nervous, and there was this place they wouldn't sell me a doll's house, and everything is a little rushed.
Have you been rushed all your life?
Not as a child. As a matter of fact, I was a very slow child until I bloomed, which was thanks to Clearasil, frozen pizza, and Tom McCann flats. I liked those flats because they were good. They never gave me those blisters, you know, right there in the back of my heel. You know, there.
Yes. You married young.
Yes, 17.
That's very young.
Well, you see, we lived in Ohio, and there wasn't a lot to do.
And you married your high school sweetheart.
Yeah, Tom Hartman, which I would like to say now that contrary to what a lot of people think, young marriages do work.
They do?
Yes, they do. They're very good for a relief of tension and getting out of the house. I mean, that is your parents' house. And then getting into your own house, which you don't have to keep as tidy. We were very lucky, though, because when I got married, we got, as gifts, several Speed Queen appliances, which we used, and it made life much easier for us. Now, my mother, she used Bendix. Now, I think they're out of business, I'm not sure, but they were also a very good product, if I remember.
It says here in my notes that you're separated.
From what?
Your husband.
Oh, yes, of course, that's true. That's true. But it was a wonderful 14 years. Wonderful. And I have nothing to say against my marriage.
In fact, I wouldn't even say that we were actually separated. I mean, we're not living together, but a lot of psychiatrists say that that can be very good for a couple every once in a while.
Experts also say that women control the nation's paychecks, that a man takes charge once in a while of a big purchase, maybe in the family's life, a house, a car, Winnebago, but that for the most part, the wife spends the monies on the day-to-day purchases. Was that a conflict for you? Is that one of the reasons for, you know, your trouble, the strain, for breaking up?
We're not broken up, David. That's a terrible thing to say. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it all right if I call you David?
Of course.
Oh, well, let me explain something to you. Families, to everyone, families do not break up. I mean, sometimes there is a strain in the relations in the families, but they do not break up. You see, break up implies brittleness. Now, people are not brittle. Peanut is brittle, as in peanut brittle. Oh, which, by the way, is our favorite candy. Now, of course, it sticks to your teeth, but thank God, for 1995, we were able to get the water pick.
Your husband, John,
Tom,
would you say that you and he were equally product-oriented?
well, we like to lead a good life, David.
No, I mean, did the demands of a consumer society, did the constant titillation of this device or that gadget, or whatever was the newest thing, did these demands cause a strain in your relationship?
You know, David, we have always only bought products that we thought would be very helpful around the house. So I'm sorry, I just don't really see what you're getting at.
Did you fight? Look, it says here in these notes again that you and your daughter, for example, were frequently arguing about whether to buy or not to buy it.
Can I see that, please?
Well, yeah, it won't make a lot of sense, but there it is.
Well, that's wrong. We do not fight. Fighting is destructive, especially if it is something as harmful to your child as platform shoes.
What do you want for her?
Who?
Your daughter.
What do I want her for?
What do you want for her?
Oh, what do I want for her?
When she grows up.
Flats. Oh, I'm sorry, you said when she grows up?
Yes.
The best. That's what I want. I want the best. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, it's very hard for me to say for her what would be good for her when she grows up. You know, I mean, she's an individual, and that's the kind of thing that she has to decide for herself about what she wants when she grows up. And believe me, Heather is an individual, and I mean, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, so. And I think that I've spent, you know, like a lot more time than her thinking about this, you know?
Would you like to look at the film of your week?
Oh, you mean of my life? Have you seen it?
Not edited, no.
Oh, because I'm very concerned about it. You see, I wanted to look my best. And I was in the 5th day of my 8th day Revlon beauty plan. That was a joke, David.
Let's look at the film.
Okay. Oh, David, before we look at it, could I ask you one question? I have heard that on television you tend to look 5 pounds heavier. Do I look 5 pounds heavier?
Don't worry. Just look at the film.
July 1976, America. Just in time for the 200th anniversary of the world's greatest experiment in freedom and human individuality. We're in Ohio, the heart of America, with a consumer who buys everything 200 years has to sell. Her name is Mary Hartman. She's not rich, but she's not poor. She's not famous, but she's not forgotten. She's just trying to make a life of some comfort and purpose for the loved ones around her with the information and materials she has at hand.
I look 13 pounds heavier.
Now here are some scenes from the next episodes of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
I asked you up here because I got the hots for you.
But do you know what my pa intends to do about his weakness?
Intends to do about his weakness? No.
With Mrs. Haggers?
Do you feel that you get your money's worth for the goods and services that you buy?
And do you have a satisfactory sex life?
Do you feel manipulated by Madison Avenue?
Do you feel her education's packaged like breath mints?
With absolutely no nutritional value.
What about extramarital affairs?
Let go of me. Loretta!
Driving down the highway, you were staring at the stars above. Oh, you double clutching He-Man, baby, woo! I need your 10-wheel love. Oh yeah, well, babe, you know something? You think this is appropriate for a religious program or any
Well, sure I do. I think it's perfect. I like it, really.
Well, okay, good. If you like it, I'll do it. You know, there was another great one that I was going to do, too. It's called Gone to the Graveyard, But Yet You're Still Here in My Heart. It's a fabulous song.
Sounds good.
But I decided that it might not be good to do because, you know, your little Lurleen, you know, your sweet wife, she passed on and everything. I didn't want to make you sad, you know.
Well, I sure appreciate that, Loretta, but I'll tell you the truth. I don't think you could say or do anything to make me sad. You got a loose hair there.
Oh, thanks.
Sure.
Well, you know what I bet, Merle? I bet that just any day now you're going to be meeting a special honey bunch of your own, just truly lovely lady and all, because you deserve it, you will.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that myself.
I just thought of another song. Fabulous, fabulous song. It's called Mother is a Heap of Lovin', and That's the Truth to Tell. It's a great song. It's one I wrote. It's about a man, a wife, and their 11 children and everything, and it's kind of a modern, updated version of Little Old Woman Who Lived in a Shoe, you know?
Great.
Fabulous.
Great.
Except this, of course, woman is younger. She's not a little old woman, and she's doesn't live in a shoe. She lives in a house and everything, but she has lots of kids and all that, you know, and it's a special favorite of mine.
Yeah. How come it's a special favorite?
Well, it is because just children, kids in it and everything,
Oh,
you know, I like that. And I don't have any of my own, you know, so I like it for that reason.
You know, that's funny, but I always had the feeling that you wanted children.
So I admire that you grasped onto that, hon, because that's true. That is absolutely the truth. I'll tell you, me and Charlie have tried a number of times.
You guys gonna keep trying, or?
We're going to keep trying. We're not going to give up the Lord's faith because we really would like to have one. We're just
That's good. That's wonderful. Of course, It's getting a little late in the game for old Charlie, but...
Well, it's never too late for Charlie, I'll tell you.
Hmm?
Oh, I mean, he's a wonderful man, you know.
Oh,
He's
I know
fabulous.
he is. I know he's got to be, to have a wonderful woman like you. But
Well, what time is it?
it's only 7:15.
Whew, I have got to go. I had no idea it was this late. See, I guess when you're having a good time, time just flies, and I was having a good time. Anyway, see, my best friend Mary is going to be on television tonight. She's going to, this typical American housewife thing. Isn't that exciting? Mary Hartman, you know, from New York. And y'all don't have a TV or anything here, so I really better be getting on my way.
Yeah. Well, gosh, can't you pick it up on the reruns or anything? Isn't that, can't you do that sometime?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Merle, what are you doing?
Can I come in?
Yeah, sure. Come on in. Hey, it isn't Loretta, is it? Is she hurt or something?
No,
Oh,
not yet.
what do you mean, not yet?
Well, it's awful hard for me to say. Can I sit down?
Yeah, sure. Come on over here, son. Yeah, sure. Sit right down right here. Listen, can I get you a glass of milk or cookie or anything like that?
Nah, that's okay. You know, I just come from the show. I had popcorn, bonbons, jujubes, and a Coke.
Jimmy Joe, let's get to the part about Loretta not being hurt yet. Where is she? Where is she?
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell that part.
Tell me. Tell me, Jimmy Joe.
You see, I was at the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a G-rated movie, but I was supposed to sit through it twice. Except this voice come to me.
What? The manager? The voice of the manager came to you?
No, like a voice from on high. It was saying I ought to tell you about my pa's weakness.
Jimmy Joe, I know about your pa's weakness. Loretta knows about your pa's weakness. Everybody knows about your pa's weakness. All I want to know is about Loretta.
But do you know what my pa intends to do about his weakness?
Intends to do about his weakness? No.
With Mrs. Haggers?
Jimmy Joe, get to the point!
Well, what my pa says is how Loretta's gonna be his new wife to help him stop his sinning.
Gonna be his new wife?
Well, I know, of course, that can't be, on the account that she's your wife, and you're not supposed to covet another man's wife. You know, I could quote you a chapter and verse if you'd like.
No, that won't be necessary, Jimmy Joe. Where are they now?
At the motel.
Merle, I don't believe I understand what's happening.
Well, shoot, it's not that tough. See, I didn't ask you up here to my motel room because I got the hots for country and western music. I asked you up here because I got the hots for you.
And my talent, you mean? My talent?
Well, you might say that. Your talent for keeping my mind off fallen women, yeah.
Well, we could pray. Let's say a prayer. If
Well,
you want.
I tell you, I don't think that's going to cut it this time. See, what I'm thinking about is revamping my whole life.
Well,
and
that-
Jimmy Joe's, too.
That's good, Merle. A Christian should do that. If you find room, you know, for self-improvement,
Right.
then you should revamp your life. That's
Right,
a very
right.
good
But
idea.
what I had in mind is making you my wife.
Your wife? I'm hardly somebody's wife. I mean, Merle, I have a
Loretta,
husband.
look,
I have a
need you.
career.
I need you.
You don't need me. See, you just think you need me because we're in this little teeny tiny room together and everything, you know, and the
no,
door's
that's
locked
not
and all
it.
that.
You know it. You know we're right for each other. You know that, and you know how much Jimmy Joe cares for you.
Well, Jimmy Joe's only 8 years old, and I care for him, but you're a grown man, Merle, and you cannot
you're a
go
beautiful
around...
woman. You deserve more than that bald-headed old man with glasses.
Go with me.
Loretta!
I'm gonna scream if you
don't just scream now.
Charlie!
Get out of here, Haggers!
Charlie, help me! Charlie!
Please,
Are you all right, honey? Are you all right? Look out!
Put that thing down!
Look out, Loretta!
Well, now that we've seen the film of your life, Mary,
Portion.
I'm sorry, a portion. I think maybe it's time for our experts to ask questions of you. I'd like you to meet them. First, there's consumer advocate and author of Priceless at Any Price, Norman Nardine. Feminist and contributing editor of Counter Sex magazine, Shirley Steen. And lastly...
Not lastly, David, ultimately.
I'm sorry. Ultimately, Tucker McMarshall, media expert and author of several books too numerous to mention.
Well, the medium is extreme, medium well done.
Available in paperbacks wherever books are sold.
Including supermarkets.
Now, I believe you all have questions for Mrs. Hartman.
I'll start up, David.
I thought you would.
Mary.
Hi.
Now, we've all watched the film of your life. And I think we can all agree that what we saw was a fairly harrowing portrait, and I say this in all sympathy, of a woman manipulated by the images and the artificial imperatives around her. Do you feel manipulated by Madison Avenue? And of course, I don't use Madison Avenue in the cabaret, but rather the Orwellian sense. That is, in effect, robbing you of the ability to make a fuller life for yourself?
What is that, Madison Avenue? What is it, a book, a movie?
It's a street.
Oh, it's a street?
New York, it's a street.
Oh, no. I feel like I'm a fuller person.
I think what Shirley is trying to say is, do you feel that you get your money's worth for the goods and services that you buy?
And do you have a satisfactory sex life?
I beg your pardon?
I think what Tucker's trying to get at is, do you think our product society is sexually oriented?
Oh, definitely. Yes, I do, and I hate it. I mean, I don't mean I hate sex. I just hate that it isn't necessary to me, you know, to use sex to sell toothpaste.
No, that's not what I meant, David. What I meant is, do you feel that this barrage you get of media exhortation to buy and buy and buy ultimately reduces the sensitivity of your personal life?
No. I mean, I think that, you know, television commercials and stuff like that are really good, like, you know, for making available feminine hygiene sprays. And you know, I've just found out about vitamin E, which I was thinking, you know, of having my husband use because, you know, it does, you know. So, and then I also think they've made, they've done a lot of things with making more attractive sanitary napkins. And I think that's a very good thing. And then they have ads that are very tastefully done for, you know, contraceptive
Is
things.
life what you expected it to be when you were first married?
Well, I try to be an informed shopper.
Did you seem to be able to get along with less 14 years ago? Were your orgasms better before Johnny Carson?
Excuse me, I thought that they were going to be asking me, you know, like what I used around the house and
Well,
stuff.
don't you think that it's all the same? I mean, basically, we're talking about dehumanization. Do you feel dehumanized?
Or do you feel fulfilled?
In certain ways, fulfilled. Yeah. Not in big ways. I mean, not like in, you know, publishing a book or anything, but like in having a whiter wash, yeah, fulfilled.
Do you feel that the man's role as head of the house has limited your hopes and ambitions?
Do you feel women's lib is media hype?
I feel, you mean like commercials, television and stuff? I think television is real helpful for women's liberation, because I think that it can get them, you know, out of the house because of all the products that they see, all the commercials and stuff, that, you know, they can leave the house because at home they have Tidy Bowl and Jafome.
Your daughter seems like a very...
Oh, now, absolutely. For example, like, she could use Jafome and be at the movies and be just as effective.
Do you worry about the quality of her educational future?
Do you feel her education's packaged like breath mints?
With absolutely no nutritional value?
No. No. Quite the contrary. You see, I could see little Heather going off to school in like a little polyester separate with a Del Monte fruit cup in one hand and know.
Do you worry about her sex life?
My attitude on that is the same as the First Lady Betty Ford's.
Well, what about extramarital affairs?
I thought, excuse me, I thought they were going to be asking me that, products and
Right,
stuff like
but
that.
they also want to know about the effect on other aspects of your life.
I know, but they keep asking me about sex and my family
I
life.
think, Mrs. Hartman, well, we are just trying to respond to the film that we saw and, well, what we picked up in it.
I do not condone extramarital relationships, but I think that sometimes, as Ann Landers has
we
said,
heard
that
repeated references to the Reader's Digest. Is that...
oh, well, I think they're wonderful. I mean, they are wonderful. I mean, they condense material. I mean, what a time saver.
Are you trying to say that all your opinions are condensed and secondhand?
I think we're badgering the lady.
Absolutely not. My opinions and my ideas and my feelings, they're mine. They're not condensed and secondhand, they're mine. They're from my life. They're my feelings. What you saw, what did you see, like a little bit, 5 days of a movie? Yeah, there is nothing wrong with commercials, nothing. You can learn from commercials. You can learn from commercials. And I must say that I find this attitude here is very strange. I mean, there's a general attitude, and it's as though I'm incapable. Well, I'm not incapable. I run a full household. And what I give my people in my house, I give it to enrich them and to protect them. I try to protect them. I mean, I can stand on my own here, I mean, I did not crack under the threat of VD.
Were you raped?
And I did not crumble under the stigma of indecent exposure or homosexuality.
Do you think there's equal justice under the law?
And I want to say that I stood firm in a major auto wreck, fibroid tumors, mass murders. I am not a victim.
I don't think that's what we're trying to say exactly.
And I even coped with, and this was just recently, finding out the fact that my real grandfather was just found through the genius computer system that Adopt-A-Find has. He is a full-blooded Choctaw Indian. And in other words, what I'm trying to say here, don't do that. Don't look at me that way. And what I'm trying to say here is that in spite of everything, I am an American. I am me. I believe in me. I believe in my future. And I believe in the United States of America. If only the mail would come on time. But it doesn't. And the flight plans, I mean, they have got to alter those flight plans. I don't know, maybe it's the working conditions in the factories. Maybe it is that, it's the working conditions. Maybe it's that in the factories because of, this is when my husband works in these I'm sorry, my ex-husband. I'm sorry, my estranged husband works in these factories or something like that. It may be the working conditions. Maybe it's the boycott. It may be the boycott consumers. I mean, I was involved in a boycott consumer. I can tell you this is one of the most frustrating experiences I've ever had in my life. I mean, it was then I was involved in this thing. I think it was then. It was then that I began to notice the yellow waxy buildup on my floor. And that was way before the sexual diamond thing. Way before it. My husband was having this affair because he has this performance problem. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please strike that. Please don't look. Don't erase. Erase. I just mean it's everything. I just mean this is everything. It's everything. You know, it's just like everything is too much. It's just too much. It's the television cameras and the people and the sponsors, and it's too much. It's just too much.
Are you trying to say it's difficult maintaining your identity in the face of modern consumerism?
Are you unliberated?
Are you unprotected against the interest of big business?
Are you buffeted into numbness by the excesses of the media?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just a wonderful world, isn't it? It's just such a wonderful world. What a wonderful place we live in. What a wonderful world. What I did bad. I did bad. I did real bad. Are we still in the air now? Are we in the air? Could we go off the air now and go on the air tomorrow? Could please, but I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Birthday?
April 8th, 1944.
Maiden name?
Shumway.
Is she gonna be all right?
We hope so, Mr. Hartman. Address?
343 Brockner, Fernwood.
Do you have any idea how long she'll have to be here?
That's hard to say, Mr. Shumway.
Will I have to go live with foster parents?
Of course not, sweetheart. Of course not.
Do they know what it is?
Mr. Hartman, according to our psychiatrist's preliminary evaluation, your wife has suffered a complete and total nervous breakdown, mental collapse.
Will she have a room of her own?
Oh, absolutely.
Tom, do you still have your insurance?
Not since I left the plant.
Come along, Mrs. Hartman. I'm Mrs. Gimble, and I'm going to be helping you get used to things around here. What did you say her first name was?
Mary.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Do you think we should tell her about Charlie and Loretta?
She wouldn't hear you. Oh, Mary, it's all my fault. If I could just get a drink.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
If you could just have Dennis show her the way.
Dennis?
Dennis Foley. He's one of our new attendants. He used to be with the Fernwood Police Department.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
I'm hungry.
Do you think there'll be word from Kathy by the time we get home?
Mary Hartman.
Or maybe
Mary
Billy Twelvetree, so you and Grandpa can calm down.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Will they be giving her any medication?
That's up to her doctors.
Will they be giving her shock treatment?
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Oh, my poor family. My poor little girl.
I'm getting a drink.
I'm hungry.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Come along,
Mary
dear.
Hartman. Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Hi, this is Cleet Meisenheimer standing in front of Mary Hartman's hospital room with producer Norman Lear. Mr. Lear, what are you going to do now?
Well, Cleet, you've just seen the last episode of the first season of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, that's okay, because we're not going off the air. What we're going to do is relive the last 26 weeks of Mary Hartman in half the time. We're going to do it by showing you the key and most popular scenes. You know, everybody hasn't seen all of Mary Hartman. People have missed a Tuesday or a Thursday. But in the next 13 weeks, they'll be able to see all of the best of Mary Hartman with the complete story, all of the stories. And we'll be back in 13 weeks with a new season full of fun and surprises on Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
I did bad. I did real bad. Are we still in the air? Are we in the air? Can we go off the air now and go on the air tomorrow? Could please, would you, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
Mr. Ackerman? Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize you were watching the tape of Mary Hartman's breakdown on the David Susskind show again.
I can't get enough of it. Is she beautiful? And just think, she's all ours.
Ours? Mary Hartman?
Mary Hartman. Mrs. Gimbel, the entire country is watching Fernwood Psychiatric. In all my years as administrator here, we have never treated anyone with Mary Hartman's appeal and visibility. It's a wonderful opportunity for our facility, for our staff, for our budget. How is she?
Dr. Williams hasn't seen her yet. He's on his way now down to the day room. Oh, these just came from David Susskind.
From David Susskind? My God, we've come a long way. I'll take them to her myself.
Mr. Ackerman, please. She's still quite, withdrawn.
She'll have plenty of time to adjust. Plenty of time. The world will see us taking good care of Mary Hartman. Won't it?
Oh, I can't understand why you're so depressed. Well, you're Mary Hartman.
Me? Oh, no. Mary Hartman? No.
Oh, I thought so. You are a snob.
I'm not a snob. I'm a certified lunatic.
Look, where did you get the nerve to have your breakdown on the David Susskind show?
What?
Well, don't you understand what you've done? Why, you've revolutionized the whole business of breakdowns. Well, up to now, the world has been taking leave of its senses in private. You know, like when Ronald Reagan took that fellow Schweiker for his running mate. Well, that whole decision was probably made in the dead of night in some hotel room. But you were out there in public in front of everybody. Well, you have pioneered the way for an entire new type of nervous breakdown on national television.
What? It was on television? Yeah. So that means it was acceptable, right? Yes. Because if it's not acceptable, it's not on the air, right? Were the ratings good?
Oh, Mr. Ackerman said the overnights were sensational.
Oh. Are breakdowns respectable?
Don't you understand, Mary? You have made BDs utterly respectable.
BDs? Oh, no, I am not a carrier.
No, BDs are breakdowns.
Oh.
In fact, you have made BDs so respectable that I wouldn't be surprised if Harry Reisner did it next.
Mary?
I'm not Mary. I'm a Scarlet Bugler, which is not to be confused with Scarlett O'Hara. And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I know you're worried about your family.
My family? Let's see. There's a Tom, and then there's a little flower. There's a Heather.
Mary, all you're doing is hiding. Now listen a minute. You did not go crazy. But there's no such thing as going crazy. We don't even use that word anymore.
You just did twice.
You mustn't be ashamed.
I'm not ashamed. Please leave me alone, Dr. Williams. Can't you see I have to be a plant? I mean, I've been watching the David Susskind show since I was very little. And I've seen him talking to hookers and alcoholics and transvestites and prisoners and dope addicts and also the most awful, disgusting, horrible people I've ever met. And I have never seen anybody ruin her entire life and the life of her family and everything that I've ever lived for. But I must say that I did like David Susskind very much. I don't want to be a person anymore. I want to be something else. I want to be a plant. See what I'm doing here? I'm just sitting here very quietly and very peacefully. I'm just with my friend, and we're just growing. You know, we're not bothering anyone or anything. And I promise you, Dr. Williams, you just leave me alone. I promise you I'll never be any trouble to you or anybody else for as long as I live, or maybe even longer.
Mary, listen, I've done my homework. Now, I've seen your husband. I've seen the Susskind show. I know about Tom's drinking, his unfaithfulness to you, which caused your unfaithfulness to him. The flooding of your house, the jets over your roof, your phone being disconnected, the fight with your best friend, Loretta Haggers. Mary, it was that series of external events that overwhelmed you. Now, that much going wrong in a person's life might overwhelm anyone. See, what I'm trying to say to you is that you're not as sick as you think. We have people here who suffer from deep inner disturbances. And these people break down from problems that are in no way real. Your problems were real. But you're not only not seriously disturbed, but I suspect, Mary, that you have much more strength than you think. Excuse me, my name is Hartman, and I'm trying to find my wife.
Oh, excuse me, just a minute. Fernwood Receiving Hospital. Hamilton. Just a moment, please.
That's under H. That might be right near Hartman.
Yeah, are you sure Mr. Hamilton is a patient here? Well, I don't find Mr. Hamilton's name on the records. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. If his name's not on the records, that means he's not a patient here. No, the fact he's your husband makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. Now, you wanted something.
Well, the name is Hartman. I've been trying all day. I've called a dozen times, at least a dozen times.
You're the one? I recognize your voice. It's kind of a Chicago sound.
Well, how is she?
Who is she?
Hartman. Mary Hartman.
Hartman.
See, the last time I was here, she didn't even recognize me. I mean, her own husband, she didn't recognize. She didn't recognize her mother or her father. Now, I mean, is she going to come out of it? Is she going to be all right?
Well,
No, I mean, can I see her?
Now, I don't have anything on her here.
You don't have? Well, then call Dr. Williams, will you? Can I see him again?
Oh, now, Dr. Williams is in a consultation. I can't send you.
Wait a minute. My God, you mean I can't even see my own wife? I mean, it is my own wife. Then do me this favor, then. Look and see if you have Haggers here.
Haggers?
All right, they're my best friends, Haggers.
First name?
Charlie or Loretta, either one.
Charlie or Loretta.
Right. Yeah.
Is it a schizophrenic patient?
No, you see, I just don't know which one got shot, see? I just don't know. Now, it'll be under H-A-G-G-E-R-S. H-A-G-G-E-R-S.
Well, now, look at this. I did find
All right,
it.
which one was it, Charlie or Loretta?
Neither one, Mr. Hamilton. The system does work.
Well, maybe for you, maybe it works, but what about me? What about my wife? What about my friends, Charlie? And what about Loretta? What about all the people you haven't got on your list?
Charlie! Oh, I need you back. Hi.
I had an operation.
You had 2 operations. Oh, darling, I'm just so glad you're back. Your poor little old face.
I feel like my nose is broke.
It is, hon.
Did that take 2 operations, honey?
Well, no, see, when you let loose with the other barrel, you know...
I let loose with the other barrel?
Yeah. Should have seen Merle Jeter's room.
I hit Merle?
No, not even in the teensiest little way, but you should have seen his room. Woo, doggies. Honey, it looked like suddenly it had been antiqued or something. You know what I mean? Like all the furniture had those little wormy holes in it, you know, with buckshot and everything. And the drapes looked like a battle flag. Maybe I'll write a song about that. Oh, you left my heart intact, but you sure destroyed my room.
Oh, Lord, I just couldn't get my finger out of that trigger guard. You know, I remember I seemed to hear like another roar when I was passing out from the gun butt kicking me in the nose.
Well, if I just hadn't grabbed at the gun, you know, in that tickler way.
Oh, honey, don't blame yourself. No harm done. Anyway, I'm here. There's no harm done.
Charlie, I just couldn't stand one single day without you, baby boy.
How about night?
I swear to Pete, you character, you. You kill me. Here you are, just fresh off the operating table. The stitches hadn't even took yet. And you go talking about stuff like that.
It takes more than a couple of war wounds to get my mind off a thing like that.
Well, you want to ask me a question or something?
If you're thinking along the same lines I am, sure, honey.
Well, I reckon I probably am. Because Mary did you know what with you know who in a hospital bed. Probably the same self-hospital bed right here.
Anything they can do, we can do better.
We sure can, darling.
Ah!
What's wrong? Did I hurt you?
Honey, there's something you haven't told me yet.
What?
Where did the other shot hit me?
Well, truth to tell, Charlie, I really don't even know because, well, I was just so excited and everything, you know, that she's well and out and everything that I forgot to ask the doctor, but I believe it's around the leg area region, somewhere around there.
I can wiggle my toes.
Well, that's
I can wiggle them in a circle like.
Mm-hmm. That's good, and I'll tell you something, darling, it's getting me more hot and bothered by the minute.
Honey, just do me a favor. Get up a second, honey. Get up. I got to see where I was hit. It's no use. I can't see. I can't sit up.
You know something, Charlie? I really think we just should let the doctor tend to this.
No, honey. I'd like to know. Honey, I gotta know. Honey, I tell you what. You take a look. You tell me where I've been hit. Go on, take a look.
No, Charlie, I don't think
it's down there
so.
somewhere. No, go on, honey.
I think the doctor.
You take a look, honey, please, just for me. Take a look. It's down there somewhere. Just go ahead.
Well, all right. Okay.
What is it? What is it?
Charlie, I have never in all my born days seen...
What? What?
So much bandage.
Now, the very interesting thing here is my whole life I have strived to be respectable. Not rich or religious or right on, just respectable. Oh, my God, it's almost noontime. I really have to go. You know, just so that nobody worries or anything like that. And, you know, I don't feel so drowsy anymore.
Well, the Valium must be wearing off.
Oh, well, I guess that must be so. Well, God, I want to thank you all for this most encouraging talk, and goodbye to all of you. It was just so nice meeting you. And please, nobody get up, please. And please, no more clapping. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll just call a cab from the outside. That is, you know, if I can find it. And, excuse me, could you tell me which way is the outside? Never mind. Forget it. I'll find it myself. Be good to yourself. Now, let's see. Did I bring a suitcase? Or did I... Oh, God, I hope I didn't just stuff everything into a shopping bag. Now, let's see. Is this the door out here? Oh, actually, why don't we all just go, huh? Why don't we all just go, we'll all have a nice lunch at Denny's, huh?
We can't.
All right, so we'll go back to the House of Pancakes. You probably like that, right?
But Mary, we can't.
What do you mean we can't?
Because the doors are all locked.
Why are the doors locked? What do you mean the doors are locked?
Well, because this is an institution.
Oh, no, but listen, I need to get out of here. I mean, I have to get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I mean, I have my husband, I have my daughter.
No, Mary, you can't get out this way.
But, well, then which way, then? Which way? The key. Someone must have a key.
Mary, listen to me. Now, Nurse Gimble is going to be here at precisely at noon for her checkup, and you have got to act normal or you'll never get out of here. Never.
Normal? Well, how do you do that? I don't know how to act. Moral? I'm never moral.
No, I said normal.
Oh, normal. Well, just tell me, what do I do? What should I do?
Well, just sit there and watch television.
Watch television? Well, what do you mean? You mean like if I just sit like him and if I watch television, they're going to think I'm normal?
Yes, they seem to think it's very important to just sit there and stare at the television set. They like that.
They won't just think I'm...
Catatonic? No. They'll just think you're normal.
Okay, I'll do it.
Hello, Nurse Gimble.
How am I doing?
Perfect.
Can I go home now?
No.
4.5 minutes now, Reggie. Make sure your uncle can't see you from the window.
Can't, wrong side of the train.
You know, before the David Susskind show, I started watching the new season. And I found myself fascinated with the new little full previews and the little promotional things and all the new stars, you know. I mean, television. It is just such a remarkable thing. You know what one of the nice things is about television? Nobody dies. I mean, like if David Jansen leaves you in The Fugitive, he comes back again as a Treasury agent, and then he comes back again as Harry O. I can't believe what they've managed to do with Nancy Walker. Do you believe that? On one channel, she works with the Macmillans as a maid. On another channel, she is sometimes Rhoda's mother. And on that other channel, she has her own show. God knows what she's doing on cable TV.
I've been reading about you in the newspapers, too. You're Reginald Redondo.
And the new season. Do you have any idea how wonderful the new season it is for people who live in the warm climates like Arizona or California or Texas? That's how they know it's fall. Mary Tyler Moore is back.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Dean.
You still with me?
I don't want to get back on the train. I want to go out
Good.
to the ranch for a while. I need a vacation.
Television is such a positive force, isn't it? I mean, it really draws you, doesn't it?
I haven't any books.
Do you have any idea how important these commercials are? I mean, do you have any idea? I mean, you can learn about a new soap. You can learn about a new deodorant. You can learn about a new deodorant for somewhere else, and you can even learn about somewhere else. I mean, I have not had to teach Heather a thing about sex. She learns it all from television. I mean, is that wonderful? So just when you're beginning to get interested in something on television, they interrupt it with something better, an educational commercial. But you know what I really think is wonderful about
Mary?
this?
These lovely flowers were sent to you from David Susskind, and with a lovely card.
Oh, yes, well, I'm sure they're just beautiful. I would really love to stop and read the card now, but I'm just so busy watching television.
Well, I'll just set them down here for you by the TV.
She really ought to turn her collar down. Don't you think she'd be much more attractive?
Do you enjoy television, Mrs. Hartman?
Oh, yes, I do. Just so very, very much.
How do you like the new season?
Oh, well, that is just the very best.
Not for $500,000.
Could I go home now? It's just so my family won't be broken, don't you see? It's just, see, my family and I, we're a set, you know? We're not supposed to come apart or anything like that. Please, I promise I will watch all the prime time shows, and I will even watch all the important local ones.
Mary, I am sure Dr. Williams will have you back safe in your wonderful home just as soon as he feels you can handle it. We are all here to help you get well. Mr. Drayton, it's time for your new medication.
Listen, if there's anything there you feel I should have, you know, it'll be, let it pass. Could I ask you just another question? It's about television.
Certainly.
What is that little black box on the side of the TV?
Oh, I'm pleased you noticed that so quickly. You certainly are regaining your awareness.
Oh, well, it's just that I've never seen one of those before.
Well, I don't imagine you have. That little black box is a telemeter.
That's a telemeter? What is this, a pay TV?
Oh, no, no, no. You can't buy that. You have to be chosen. A telemeter measures ratings.
Ratings? Oh, don't tell me. Are we? Oh, we're not. Are we?
Yes, Mary, we are.
I can't believe it. All of us?
Everyone here, Mary, yes.
Including me now?
That's right.
I can't believe it. That I, Mary Hartman, am finally a member of a Nielsen family.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Mary, you must meet Chester Markham. Oh, he's terribly well informed. You know, he's the only man I know who reads 2 newspapers every day, plus Time and Newsweek every week. He's simply never satisfied unless he reads all the bad news a minimum of 4 times. Chester?
Yes, it's all in these magazines. Time, Newsweek, People, etc., etc., etc. Perhaps the only consistency in life today.
Chester, this is Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman, Chester Markham. Well, Mrs. Hartman is a consumer expert. I'm sure the 2 of you have much to discuss.
Hi.
Can I sit down?
Thank you. Do you do your family shopping?
No. Do you read a lot?
Well, it depends.
Well, how many magazines do you read a month?
Well, it depends on the number of the days in the month.
I read a lot in any month. Like, at home, I subscribe to Newsweek, Time, Harper's, New York, the New West.
Sometimes I buy Time and sometimes I buy Newsweek. Depends on the cover. Like a few weeks ago, I bought, let's see, on the cover of Time, there was Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale. And on the cover of Newsweek, there was Walter Mondale and Jimmy Carter.
Oh, well, so which one did you buy?
That week, I bought Time. I just felt like reading Walter Mondale on the left side of Jimmy Carter. Yeah. Lately, though, I haven't been buying any because of the glare.
The glare?
Oh, yeah, well, it's that glare. They did studies on this. I read this in Reader's Digest, that they did studies that said that it's because of the background, the color in the background that makes the magazine sell a lot, depending on what color it is.
Really?
Yeah, and that gold sells the most because it stands out the most.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, for example, like you could have Jimmy Carter hugging Gerald Ford, or he could be kissing Gerald Ford on the cover of a magazine, say, with the blue background on it, and you could have someone half as important. I mean, say someone like Charo, you know, in another magazine, you know, on the cover with the gold background. And I tell you that the Charo magazine cover will probably sell twice as much as the cover with Jimmy Carter kissing Gerald Ford on it. Yeah, and that's probably an absolute fact.
Yeah, that is something you would think I'd know, but I don't read Reader's Digest.
Yeah, neither do I. Anymore.
Your life is in danger.
What?
Your life is in danger. Now, I don't want you to tell anybody this. You really have a terrific quality. This is a secret between us. Do you love your country, Mary?
Oh, yes, very much. Do you love yours? I mean mine. You mean America, right?
America. That answers your question.
What question?
Well, it's a much bigger question, but the question is, does who you love explain what you are? And the answer is, it's not who you love, it's what you love.
I love my husband. He's American. And, we're separated, and he's overwhelmed with pressures, and he drinks all the time, you know, and so nobody's home with my daughter because I'm overwhelmed with pressures, and, does that mean I'm a bad mother, or is all this just natural?
Your question is very touching.
It is?
Look, I'm going to tell you a little secret about me. You can tell when I'm being sincere, because I puddle up.
You puddle up? What is that?
Well, it means you can always tell how much I mean what I'm saying by the amount of water in my eyes.
Oh, that's really interesting. You know, I may also be a puddler. I hate that word, though, but I know what you mean.
Do you want to cry together?
Well, I don't really want to, but, you know, I'll try if it's important to you.
I'm concerned about the breakdown of the nuclear family.
I think I'm concerned about that, too. Anything?
Nothing. During the last 20 years, the suicide rate among young people from 15 to 24 has gone up approximately 250%.
Listen, I don't think I can cry anymore.
You know why?
Why?
We're all cried out.
You know, it's funny, because, like, I feel sadder when I look in your eyes than when I hear your words.
Now I'm going to tell you something, Mary.
What?
The most intimate statistic.
Oh, intimate? Oh, I don't think I'm prepared for anything intimate.
No. Not that kind of intimate. But I am personally going to be responsible for changing the quality of life in America.
Really? What are you going to do?
It kills me, but I have to do it. By leveling.
You mean telling the truth?
No. By leveling, let's say, most of the state of Ohio.
Leveling? Oh, actual leveling. Why?
People will really appreciate me after this. I mean, all eyes will be turned on me for a very healthy reason.
I feel real funny right now. I think I'm puddling up. Do you mind if I cry now? Would that be all right?
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for understanding. Somehow I knew you would.
Oh, that's all right.
I came for my 4 o'clock appointment with Dr. Reese.
It's only 2 now.
That's all right, I'll wait.
Yes?
Smith, Kathy Smith, you said my results would be in today?
Mm-hmm. And how many cycles did you say you'd missed?
3, I think.
You think, you don't know, huh?
Well, I actually didn't miss them.
I don't follow you, Mrs. Smith. You mean you've not yet missed a cycle, but you think you might be pregnant, right?
Well, you could say that I skipped them. I didn't actually miss them, you know, ever since I stopped taking the pill.
Oh, when did you stop taking the pill, Mrs. Smith?
Well, you see, I read somewhere that it wasn't good to take them for too long.
And how long had you been taking them? You're only 20 years old.
4 years.
What's that?
4 years.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. And you stopped 3 months ago, right?
6. Do the results say that I'm pregnant?
No, they don't.
So I'm not?
Well, that's what I'm trying to determine. Are your breasts tender?
Huh?
Your test reads negative, but a negative report does not necessarily mean that you're not pregnant. A positive test would most likely be positive, but you can't really be positive when it's negative. That is, you could be positive, but it's not certain.
Well, what am I going to do? I mean, I have to know.
Well, I can always tell by just looking, and in my opinion, Mrs. Smith, I'd say you're about 3 months pregnant.
She's right. It's a boy.
Thanks.
Oh, no. Anybody could told you it was a boy. But I'm gonna tell you that he's gonna be a carpet salesman.
If you're looking for a bathroom, there's one right down the hall.
Well, honey, tell me, what's left of me? Loretta, honey, there's more bad news on your face than a hog has bristles.
Oh, Charlie, I'm sorry. I came up from looking under them covers and I just seen you lying there all miserable and buckshotted up and everything. Kind of me grabbing that gun in that tickler way. Well, I just got hit by a mean old wave of the guilties. Oh, honey, are you hurting?
What's hurting, honey, is the suspense. Tell me if I've been shot any place where anybody would rather be shot any place else then.
Oh, Charlie, don't get unstrung. Now, I didn't see nothing.
You didn't see nothing?
Not that kind of nothing. I mean, I saw, you know, bandages and tapes and all that kind of stuff.
Honey, tell me, where precisely were the bandages at?
Well, now, honey, that's just it. I mean, they come from here clear down to there, and I mean, it's just all wrapped up and everything in between there.
Oh.
Don't you move now, I'll get that. Hello, Charlie Hager's bedside speaking.
Yeah, Loretta? Wait a minute. Hold on, boy. Now, wait a minute. You're going to get your chest and just relax, okay? Is that you, Loretta? It's Merle.
Well, of all the dadgum cotton, it's Merle.
Listen, I'm just calling to apologize for my part in this whole thing. Is your husband all right?
Yes, he is definitely all right, Merle Jeter. And you know something else he was completely all right about, that I should have never trusted you further than a turkey can fly? Yeah, well, let me tell you something. You better be praying for him, Merle Jeter. And let me tell you something else, hon. You better find somebody else to be praying for you, too, Toots. Because you're going to need all the praying that anybody in this world can muster up in a lifetime.
I told you, Dad.
Son, I think I feel bad enough for my sin, and I don't think I need a sermon.
It wasn't just sin, it was violence. You know how I hate violence. Jesus said once...
We'll just let Jesus be the judge of that. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you is violence is the last thing I had in mind.
But what was the first?
You mean he had the dad-blame nerve to...
Charlie, listen to me. Don't you do yourself any more damage over that scheming, wicked heir of creation. It's just the poor little reverend child that needs feeling sorry for.
Hang the reverend child and his daddy both.
Charlie, now you know what the good book says. The sins of the father shall not be passed down unto the son, and vice versa. Although I don't think they spelled it directly out like that. But...
Honey, I'm not talking about sins. I'm talking about Jeters, father and son, and how they're both trouble, whether they're sinning or just sitting still.
Charlie, it wasn't your heart that was shot out, hon.
Well, whatever it is, I don't feel like forgiving and forgetting.
Well, I can see now how no mere human individual could forgive the icky sins of somebody like a Merle Jeter. But, hon, think of the poor, darling, precious, reverend, motherless child, you know, who the Lord has chosen as his own personal instrument. And, well, I guess the Lord's got his reasons in cases like this. But anyway, the point is, I got to go over there and give him what comfort I can, Charlie. But rest assured, hon, that I will do it without his daddy ever seeing this face again.
There's got to be a place where goodness stops and stupidness starts, Loretta.
Charlie, what has gotten into you?
Oh, I don't know, honey. Just a load of buckshot is all.
Oh, darling, look, everything's going to be just fine. It's going to be great. You're going to be up and at 'em and, well, just in time for our second honeymoon at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Heather?
Who wants to know?
Heather, open up the door, will you? It's your daddy. Honey, it's Tom, your dad. Honey, my arms are full, sweetheart. Open the door, will you? Heather? Heather, open the door.
You're sober.
Yeah, oh. Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing with that knife? What? Hey, put that down, will you?
Well, you could have been one of those happily married family types that goes into strangers' houses and smothers them with Glad wrap.
Oh, honey, come here, sweetheart. Hmm? Hey, are you okay, huh? You here all by yourself? Well, nobody's looking after you, Martha or anybody, huh? Oh,
I couldn't get anything done in that madhouse, so I made him let me take care of myself. I can take care of myself good. Hey, you're wearing cologne.
Yeah, that's aftershave, you know. Hey, guess what?
What?
Your daddy may have gotten himself a job this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it back at the plant, or is it an office? Maybe a promotion?
Well, no, it's not back at the plant. And, well, it's kind of a promotion. It's got something to do with cars.
A used car salesman.
It's even better than that.
New cars. Do you get a discount? Do I get a Volvo 117? I like
hold on a minute, will you? Hold on, back off, will you? You know, it's not that kind of a job, and it's not cars. Look, I'm not even going to tell you what it is, because that's bad luck, okay?
Did you tell Mom yet? Or did they have her locked up in some padded cell?
No, they wouldn't let me see her over at that hospital. But, honey, everything's going to be fine. She's going to be okay. Your mother just needs a little time to, you know, just... Hey. Anyway, I'm home. I'm going to take care of things, okay?
Okay. But you haven't even looked at me yet.
What?
Don't you notice anything?
What is this? What? Ah, your hair.
Yeah.
Aha.
Makes me look older. You know, I told Robbie Netzer that I was 15 today, and he actually believed me. Like it?
Yeah, it's a knockout, sweetheart.
Thanks. Oh, Dad.
What, baby?
You want me to make you some ravioli? I found Mom had a whole carton of it under the sink, for in case of emergencies.
It's not easy running an institution. The cost of insanity has gone up along with everything else. That's why I'm counting on Mary Hartman.
I know what you have in mind, Ackerman. You're planning to use Mary Hartman to get yourself off the hook with Medicare.
Are you insinuating that... That's impossible. You believe those accusations that I've been padding our Medicare bills?
I would never put a little thing like fraud past you.
Fernwood Psychiatric is one of the most honest institutions in this country.
Used to be.
I tell you, it's election year. They will stop at nothing to clean up, even if they have to make the mess to clean up. Whoever told them about that mayonnaise? Well, see, they are alleging that I...
What mayonnaise?
Mr. Ackerman made a deal with Mr. Bada, the mayonnaise distributor, to bill us for 3,000 cases of Hellman's imitation mayonnaise, present the bill to Medicare under food supplies, and get a kickback. 1 lump or 2.
Mayonnaise? What?
You think I used that money for myself? We needed it for redecorating. Medicare doesn't understand the psychological importance of redecorating.
Particularly when you send in the top interior designer from New York.
You'd have flown one in from Kansas. 1 lump, please.
3,000 cases of Hellman's imitation mayonnaise?
Mr. Ackerman, it's your wife.
I can't speak to her. We're in litigation.
You actually committed fraud with Medicare money.
Now, let's get real. We need staff, equipment, money. We need Mary Hartman.
A lovely woman.
Yes, and a person of great worth. Do you realize that we've received over 500 letters a day since she's been here? People care about her, Williams. And not just people. Foundations, government agencies. Mary Hartman has massive appeal.
Her condition has been improving so rapidly, it would be criminal not to let her go.
What are you saying? It would be criminal to release her. She's consistently inconsistent.
She's a cyclothymic personality. She always has been, she always will be.
Don't talk technical with me.
That just means that her highs are very high and her lows are very low, and she moves very quickly between the highs and the lows. However, she's obviously very upset. She's had a traumatic experience. She's in a negative frame of mind. It's only natural given what she's been through. However, she needs only as much time as she needs and not as much time as you need.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with you there.
Are you saying that Mary Hartman is going to be another case like those 3,000 cases of mayonnaise?
Is Dr. Robert Williams to be called up for review?
Is Mr. Andrew Ackerman looking for a lawsuit?
Is Fernwood Psychiatrist to be replaced by 2 cheaper psychologists?
I don't believe what's going on in this hospital. I mean, you would take a patient like Mary Hartman, who's a victim to begin with. Mrs. Hartman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please, please go on. I'm sorry. I was supposed to report for counseling, and I just must have wandered into group therapy by mistake. I'm so sorry I interrupted. I'm just so sorry. I'm really sorry. We'll never do this again. I'm really awfully sorry.
you comfortable here?
Well, physically, you know, aside from this partially numb sensation that I have, like a plant screaming. You know, plants scream, you just don't hear them. So like that, I'm very comfortable, except that there's a lot of me I can't feel, but that may be because of the pills, which, by the way, I love.
And the food?
Oh, the food is delicious. I mean, I'm just so crazy about mayonnaise.
Have you slept well?
Like a baby. Oh, I mean, like a very mature adult baby. You know, I mean, and calm. I find that I'm so calm that sometimes in the middle of the night, I just find myself standing in the middle of the room like a mature, rational adult just waiting for a bus. I mean, and even the strange dreams have disappeared.
What strange dreams?
Did I say strange? Oh, how strange, because nothing strange has been going on with me at all.
Mary, your dreams might lead me to direct access of your problem's door.
Well, I feel that my problems are pretty much over now. I do. I mean, as you once said in a very loud voice to another doctor, that I was just overstrained and that I just needed some rest and that I just needed to slow down, and I have. And, you know, I just wanted to thank you and Nurse Gimble, a lovely woman who should watch herself.
Do you remember what happened to you in New York?
New York? What, are you kidding? What, is that a joke just to throw me off? New York is very exhausted.
Now, you were more than exhausted from a report by your husband on the return flight.
Tom and I were together on the same plane? Is this Tom Hartman?
You don't remember the return trip from New York?
Oh, well, of course I do. I just don't remember Tom being in New York. Was he there for the convention? I mean, what was his main reason? You know, it's very natural to forget things. I mean, I always forget things. I mean, my mother always forgot things, always forgot things. I mean, when I was a child, my mother consistently forgot my name. Always would forget my name, she would forget our telephone number and my lunch. I mean, that's a very natural thing to do. And my mother happens to be the most conscientious and the most normal person that I know. I'm sorry, I just feel so embarrassed. Was it embarrassing, my breakdown, or was it a good one? Because I was told that, you know, some people like just go totally out of control, and I was told that, you know, I went out of control and then, you know, nobody believes you or anything because they think it's too showy. And did I do anything different?
Well, we'll have time to remember all that, Mrs. Hartman. In due time, as you begin to be more comfortable here, you will.
Well, I feel comfortable already. Could I have a light?
Do you have a cigarette?
No.
Now, I think that you're resisting treatment. Nobody recovers instantly. Wounds take time to heal.
I know that. I mean, it's like when I was a child, a very rational, mature child, too. I mean, like when I would scrape my knees or anything, it would just take weeks to heal. So, I mean, I can't understand how this might take a couple of days. And is my mind wounded?
Well, you could put it that way. See, I have to set up a schedule for your hospital treatments and be private sessions with me on Mondays and Fridays, and group sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays, well, you're free to watch the latest films on cable TV, or you could join the group hike up Fernwood Heights, led by Nurse Gimble. Now, doesn't that sound relaxing?
No. I hate hiking. It's just that my knees, you know, won't bend properly, that's all. But basically, I just must say that you have a wonderful way about you, and you certainly do have a way of making a person feel very relaxed, and I would just, you know, I would love to stay here longer just for the fun of it, you know, but I do have my family, and that's what keeps me sane. And so I just want to thank you, Dr. Williams, or, you know, can I just call you Dr. Bill?
What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go right back to my little cell and pack. I'm sorry, I mean my room. But really what I basically want to do is just thank you and ask you to just thank everyone for me. And, you know, especially Nurse Gimble, and, you know, and I hope she doesn't break anything else except, of course, her leg, which is, that's just an old showbiz expression that I got from my friend Loretta Haggard. What it means is you know, go out there and be great. Do you know what I mean? What is this, the door out here?
No, that's the closet.
Yeah. I am sorry. I am so sorry.
No, now, don't be sorry because you didn't do anything wrong. So you must stop convincing yourself that you're always wrong.
You're right. I'm right. Goodbye, Dr. Bill.
That's the closet, Mrs. Hartman. The door's there. And I'm sorry, but you can't leave. Not just yet, anyway.
Is it the closet incident? Because, you know, this is just a very natural mistake. I mean, I make this every day. It's like one of my things. It's just one of my things.
You see, you were quite upset when you first arrived, and so much so that you couldn't sign yourself in. Your commitment was not voluntary.
You mean I have to stay here?
In due time, you can leave, but while you're here, we'll do everything we can to make your stay a very pleasant one. We have ceramic workshops and sculpturing with wire paper hangers, and you can attend music classes, gardening classes.
I was committed? Who committed me?
Well, your husband, Tom, signed the admitting papers, acting in your own best interest, of course.
Tom? Tom committed me? My own husband committed me?
Mary, a commitment can show how much he still cares about you. Now, he wants you well again. And as soon as we can assure him of that, you'll be free to leave.
Well, like when? When will I be free?
Well, you mustn't think of yourself as not free now. It's just that you're merely,
Trapped! Trapped! That's what I am. I'm merely trapped. I need a cigarette. I really need a cigarette. When I'm trapped, when I feel trapped, I really need a cigarette. But when I'm really trapped, I need a carton of Camels. I mean, when I am really trapped, I need a really strong cigarette like a Camel. I mean, I always wondered what they meant when they said I'd always walk a mile for a camel. Well, now I know what they mean. I would walk a mile for a camel right now, but you won't let me.
well, we'll do everything we can to make your stay here a pleasant one. Now, you want a cigarette?
No, I don't smoke. I gave it up in New York.
Nurse Gimble, would you get me a carton of Camels from the commissary, please? Mary, I want us to become friends.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know Mrs. Hartman was still here.
Yeah, I'm running a little late, Mr. Markham. It'll just be a few more moments, okay? Have you met Mr. Markham?
Yes. I mean, he's a very nice man, but he's very dangerous. Now, are you sure that you should be alone with him?
Well,
I mean, he is determined to do away with everybody.
I'm as optimistic about his recovery as I am about yours.
Listen, could I go home today? I would really, honestly, I would just feel much safer at home. I really would.
No, you're not ready for the outside world yet, Mary. Now, you must trust us. We only want to help you.
Yes, so do I. I want to help everybody.
Yeah. Well, all I want is out. Oh, by the way, have there been any messages for me? Because I come from a very over-concerned family.
Grandpa, aren't you surprised to see me?
Nothing will surprise me at this point. I wouldn't even be surprised if Jimmy Carter was Hubert Humphrey with a facelift and $6,000 worth of bridge work.
Well, have you heard any news about Mary?
Nothing. Or if there is, it didn't tell me anything.
The best psychiatric hospital in Fernwood, and they know nothing?
The only psychiatric hospital in Fernwood, and they nothing. We're supposed to hear tomorrow after the shrink examines her.
Grandpa, I would like to talk to you for a minute.
Isn't that pretty much what we're doing now?
Yeah, it's just that, you see, I always thought of you as so worldly, so sophisticated, so civilized.
You're kidding.
So masculine.
Well, yeah. I suppose I am masculine.
And I really need to talk to a masculine man. And that's what you are, you know, a total man.
Well, that's nice to hear.
And I know in your youth, you, well, you must have sown some wild seeds in your time.
Well, the mind plays strange tricks. It forgets. But I understand what you mean, Kathy. Young men usually do sow a few wild seeds. And I was young and a man, so it would follow.
Well, you see, that brings me to my point. I'm pregnant.
You're what?
I'm pregnant. So you see, it's why you're young.
I didn't know even you were dating a farmer. What's his name?
Well, you see, that's the problem.
You don't know the father?
Well, there are a lot of possibilities. There's Larry, the Armenian bartender, and then there's Steve, and Cleet, and of course Sergeant Foley. I love them all, Grandpa. You know that, don't you?
Of course I know that. I'm old. I go along with this junk that age brings wisdom.
You're not sorry I told you.
No. You told me because you thought I would take it best. Well, I'm not taking it all that well. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to just eat my peanut butter sandwich now, alone.
But, Grandpa, I don't know who else to go to. I mean, I can't go to Mommy because she would just get hysterical. And I can't go to Daddy. You know how angry he'll get. And Mary, she's in no position to give any advice. I guess I could go to one of those clinics, and it would be over just like that. But I wouldn't do that because, well, I'm in training to be a Catholic. And even if I wasn't, I don't think I'd do that anyway. I mean, what happens if when, in 1956, when Mommy and Daddy were thinking about having a child, what happens if they decided not to? Then there'd be no me. And I can't think of anything worse than not being born in the first place.
And everybody's glad for you, too, Kathy.
Glad for me?
That you were born.
Oh, Grandpa. It is so confusing. I don't know what to do or who to do it with, or even who did it. What am I going to do?
Kathy, you've come to the wrong man.
Even for advice?
I told you all the stuff about age and wisdom is for the birds. You need somebody that's more into life. I'm too far on the edge of things now. Go to your father. That's what he's for. He won't say anything worth hearing, I'm sure. But nevertheless, that's what he's for.
Honey, I tell you, I just can't take any more of the suspense. If they don't come in here soon and tell me where I've been shot, they're going to have to put me in the crazy ward along with Mary.
Oh, Charlie, isn't it awful that Mary went, you know what, in the head, and Tom being as flaky and everything as he is? I mean, honey, we really have the man upstairs to thank, you know, for being as okay as we are.
Honey, if I continue to hurt the way I think I'm going to continue to hurt, then I don't know how good I'm going to be at feeling thankful. Oh. I know. The charts. Look at them charts. Honey, take a look at them charts.
All right, if you think it'll help, but I don't know what it has to do with...
No, honey, not the music charts, sweetheart, darling, the foot of the bed.
Oh, you mean this little report card down here?
Oh.
All right, let me see. Well, honey, it's just got your name and your address. No, there's nothing on here. You know what? I probably, they didn't get all the counts in yet, probably is what happened. But listen now, Charlie, I just want you to calm down and relax, because none of this worrying is going to do you any good. Now, you've got to calm down.
What I've got to do is I've got to find out where I've been hit, honey. I know. I got to see Dr. Furman. That's what I got to do. Get Furman, honey. Just go get him. Honey, sweet, please do it. Go get Furman.
If that's what you want, honey. If that's what you want, then your little precious guardian angel is going to go get him and bring him to your questioning side. Be right back.
Oh, Lord. How long can that little girl go on being an old invalid's nursemaid?
Good day, Mr. Hackett, and how are we doing today?
That's what I'd like to know, nurse. That's just exactly what I'd like to know. See, I had an operation. I was in surgery, you know, and
I know where you've been. I assisted in your operation, Mr. Hackett. It was an excellent job of salvaging...
Salvaging what? That's what I got to know. What was salvaged? Nobody in this entire hospital seems to want to tell me anything about where I've been hit. Now, I know that I'm bandaged from the waist down to the knees, nurse.
That is correct, Mr. Hackett.
Well, where exactly was I shot?
You really have no idea.
No, nurse?
Nugent, Gloria Nugent from Chillicothe.
Oh, honey, I'm glad to meet you. I'm fine. I'm delighted to meet you. I do not care where you are from. All I'll need to know is where I am. Could you please tell me exactly where I've been hit?
No. Only the doctor can answer those questions. However, if you need help with anything else, I'll be at my station.
It's getting harder and harder to get a straight answer in this world.
Charlie, you'll never guess who I just saw. Guess.
Loretta Lynn?
Close. Very, very close in terms of what it would do to the joy on each and every one of our individual hearts. But you're wrong. It was Dr. Furman. And what he's going to do is, just as soon as he's finished with these operations he's working on right now, he's going to be right in here. That's 3 appendixes, 2 tonsils, and 1 hysterectomy. He'll be right here to put you to rest. I mean, to put your mind to rest, you know.
As fast as he moves, honey, that's liable to take next year.
Now, Charlie, you know what the good book says, honey. It says, "Blessed are the patient, for they shall not get ulcers." Of course, I changed the words around just the tense a little bit, you know, to relate more to the modern living of today.
Loretta, I gotta find out if I'm still a man.
Oh, Charlie, honey, don't you know that if they sawed you off from the waist down and put you in a circus with a flowered garden hat on, you'd still be a man to your sweet Loretta?
Fletch, Lab, Alpha Bobby 6 speaking. Chester, is that you?
I'm somewhere where you don't use your Social Security number, you don't shop for yourself, and you don't write checks. Oh, and Fletch, I changed my name.
Oh, well, I've been trying to find you. Do you remember that hollow lead lunch pail I showed you from the pilferage exhibit?
Sure.
Well, it's missing.
I know.
Do you have it?
There's enough plutonium in that thermos bottle to... You know what I mean?
Oh, my God, Chester, why would you want to do a thing like that? At least think about me. At least think about me. This could cost me my job.
I'm sorry, Fletch, but my country comes first. At least 2,400 square miles it does.
Oh, where exactly did you say you are, Chester?
I didn't even hint. But you'll hear the big pop. Then you'll know.
You're mad. You're mad. You're completely mad.
Angry, Fletch. I'm angry. Don't ever say mad. Well, I gotta go now.
No, wait, Chester, please wait.
Yes?
Just one more thing.
What?
Are you within 2,400 square miles of me?
I just happen to have a match. Oh. Ah! What are you doing? Well, there's nothing like a nice warm fire, is there?
Mrs. Defarge, where did you get those matches?
Oh, I've got big connections.
The whole world is falling apart. There's no order anymore. Brother against brother, country against country. It's gotten out of hand. But don't you worry, Mrs. Hartman. I'll fix it.
Mary, I'm being sprung. Oh, Wanda, you can't leave. Oh, I'm so
so glad for you. I'm so glad for you. Wanda, you're the only person here I can talk to.
Oh, well, I'm not going till tomorrow, and I'll only be gone for a couple of days. My husband's throwing a party, and he couldn't find enough help.
Oh, poor Tom. I mean, even if he could find someone, he couldn't afford anybody.
Oh, Mary, I want you to be in charge of the ward till I get back. Now, make sure Ronald keeps staring at the TV, and let's see.
Wanda, what are we going to do without you? I mean, you're like a mother here. You've become a mother. I mean, it's not that I don't have my own mother, you know, perfectly lovely, wonderful woman, but I can talk to you and you listen to me. I wonder what she's doing now. I wonder where she is. See, my mother, she just sort of does these monologues, and you can just sort of listen or not listen. And
That's very sweet of you, Mary. You know, you're a wonderful person, and I feel very close to you, which is something I don't feel for most women. It's only a weekend pass.
You make me feel special.
You are special, Mary Hartman. Very special.
Could I get a weekend pass, too?
No, you haven't been here that long.
If I don't get a weekend pass, I really will go crazy.
Don't worry, Mrs. Hartman. I'll fix everything.
Could you call my family? Maybe they just don't know where I am.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
The Saints are watching us, Charlie. I just happened to see the good doctor sneaking past and brought him right to your question inside, hon.
All right, what seems to be the trouble now, Mr. Haggers?
I can't take any more of it, Doc. I've lost my mind worrying about it.
All right. Now, look, first you got to learn to relax. You know, it's an art.
I got to know. What else have I lost? I mean, you do know, don't you?
Well, yeah, I know what you've lost, of course. Physically speaking, that is.
Yeah. Well, physically speaking, that is. Was my manhood shot off, or do I still got it?
Well, physically speaking, Mr. and Mrs. Haggers, what you call manhood is a complex series of mechanical, cellular, chemical, psychological factors, all in the state of interaction.
How can I interact if I don't have my factors? Now, Doctor, you've got to be
All right.
straight with me.
All right, now, Mr. Haggers, now look, please. Overstimulation is not going to speed up your recovery.
That's right. Now, don't you overstimulate,
I
Charlie.
mean, look, I'm happy to tell you your injury is not critical.
Oh. It's not. Oh.
Be careful,
Hey, did
honey.
you hear that?
I did. And Charlie, see, I told you that the good Lord was watching over his son, even if it was just a week. Can you believe it?
You lost only one testicle.
What?
Wait a minute. By that,
Well, no,
do
it
you
was
mean that,
it was impossible to save it. You see, the other one, though, was in a state of severe trauma. That we were able to preserve.
Preserve? I mean, you don't mean like in a bottle or anything like that?
No. It's exactly where it always was.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it, honey? That's good.
Can it do what it always could?
Depends.
Depends on what?
Several variables. Mr. Hagers, look. That entire region, down there is in a severe state of shock. The key thing is not to worry. My theory's always been, worry is the worst disease a man can have.
Paging Dr. Furman, emergency.
Boop. Gotta go. Duty calls. And look, don't worry about that.
Oh, honey.
Oh, Charlie, honey, everything's gonna be fine. Really, it is now. Now, you've got to stop dwelling on it, all right?
How can I do that? I mean, I've lost my manhood. Loretta. I mean, that means we can't have any kids. We can't eat. Oh, that's too tough to even think about that.
Charlie Hagers, don't let me ever hear you talk like that. Do you hear me? Never let me hear you talk like that. And I just won't have it. Now, we've got a lot of things going for us, a whole lot of things. I mean, it's not as if that, that was just all there was, 'cause it's not, honey. I mean, there's millions of things in this world, there are just million things. Temporarily, I can't think of any right this minute, but honey, I mean, we have a terrific marriage. We really do, and everything's just going to be fine. Anyway, the doctor said that it wasn't necessarily permanent.
What kind of a husband am I going to be to you?
Oh, honey, you're going to be just exactly as you've always been. You're my inspiration, Charlie. I mean, shoot, honey, I couldn't be a superstar without you, lover.
Yeah, I can see it now. The fan magazines with the headlines like, here's Loretta Hagers, and what is left of her husband, Charlie.
Now, Charlie, I'm not kidding. I don't want to hear you talking like that.
Well, hello, huggers. Get it? Sorry to break this up, but visiting hours are over. You'll have to leave now.
Well, I guess I gotta go, darling. But I want you to just have a fabulous rest and sleep tight, and don't you let those bed bugs bite. And honey, just know in your heart that everything is gonna be A-OK.
George?
Nope, he isn't here. Nice, isn't it?
But where is he?
He's going off with you to that place where they got Mary locked up.
But, Pa, I'm back.
Does that mean that he's back too? Well, at least I got to see Suzanne in peace.
Well, he must be back, only I can't find him. Now, at the hospital, we got there, we parked, and he got out of the car first.
Martha, you should have sent George off alone to the hospital to drop that plant off, since you couldn't see Mary yet anyway.
Why?
So we could see the kiddie shows together.
Pa, I don't like those kiddie shows.
You're kidding. They're so much better than the new season they got on at nighttime. Why, they don't even have a doctor show this year. How are we going to keep up with the world of medicine without Marcus Welby and Dr. Cannon?
Oh, Pa. George! George! Pa, I just can't understand what is going on here.
Martha, I can't stand around talking to you much longer. It's almost time for Ghostbusters.
Pa, I am talking about George. I just don't know what has happened to him.
Martha, George hasn't changed. He's always been like that. You've just been blind to it.
Maybe he's outside. George! Oh, Lord! George! Pa, I'm very worried.
I've been worried about him for years.
We got to the hospital and parked, and he told me to wait in the car while he got out, and walked around to my side to open the door.
There's no good ever came from being too polite.
And I waited, but he never got there.
Where?
He got out on his side, but he never got around to my side. I just don't know what happened to him.
Simple. It's the old get out of the car to go around the other side and then disappear act. I haven't heard of it used much lately since most women don't wait for the man to open the door anymore. It's second only to the I'm just going out for a pack of cigarettes and then never be heard from again act.
Oh, Pa, that is the silliest thing I ever heard. George doesn't even smoke. Surely a man couldn't disappear just from going around the car to let his wife out.
It makes sense to me. It's a lot less strange than what happened to poor Judge Crater. And then I heard about this fellow that got up out of bed at night to go to the bathroom. His wife heard him flush the toilet, and that's the last she ever heard of him.
Pa, I am just not going to listen to any more of that nonsense. Now, a man just can't disappear in the thin air. There must be some plausible excuse for all this happening. Oh, it is so eerie. Maybe he's upstairs taking a nap. George! George!
You know, the more that guy disappears, the more he grows on me.
Mary, since you're the newest here, are there any questions you'd like to ask?
I was just wondering what Mrs. Defarge was knitting. I mean, it's just so lovely with all the names in it.
Thank you, dear. It's a combination muffler and diary. You see, the names and dates are worked right into the pattern.
Oh. Well, whose names are they?
Oh, our fellow patients. You see, each date commemorates the first shock treatment of each one. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, yeah, that's very sweet. That's sweet. Is my name on there?
Not yet.
Mary, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? You know, we were so proud of you when we watched you on TV, and that was even before you became part of our little family.
Oh, well, actually, I'd really rather just sit back and, you know, listen for a while. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to avoid talking about myself or anything. It's just that I'm not real good in groups or anything like that, if you know what I mean. I'm better like one person to another, you know? I mean, like, if you saw me on the David Susskind show, then you know what I mean. And if not, I was just told this morning they're definitely going to have me back. You know who is very good in groups? I've noticed this ever since I got here. Wanda. Wanda is a real groupie.
Where is Wanda?
She's getting dressed.
To leave?
For her 2-day pass, yes.
Reverend Jeter, what is it, dear?
Well, I'm sorry to bother you like this, but how many S's are in transgression?
3, Reverend.
Thank you. It's so handy having a librarian around.
Oh, why, thank you, Reverend. I was so lucky to find this part-time job when that fund shortage cut my job at the library in half.
There you are. What are you doing here, son?
Writing you a note.
A note? You don't have to write your dad a note. You know, you can talk to your own father.
I was talking to my father, my heavenly father, and he told me to, well...
Told you what?
Run away from you. That's why I was writing you a note.
Come here a minute, boy. Come here. Son, listen to me. I know how upset you are about that shooting business and everything, but I can't believe you want to run away from your old dad and leave him all alone.
You're a sinner, Pa, and that's the truth. The Bible says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Can't you find it in your heart to forgive your own father, boy?
Maybe I could forgive you for the coveting, since the sinful act was not consummated. But the shooting and the violence, you know how much I hate violence.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up the violence, son, because it was Mr. Haggers that started that violence when he come at me with that shotgun.
Yes, but it was your sinful lust for his pure and faithful wife which brought on the violence. They were married under the sight of the Lord, And what God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Yet you are trying to put them as asunder as possible. You are violating the sacred commandment. Yes, in sin, in treachery, in vice, in wickedness, in depravity, in corruption, in degradation, and in
Shame.
shame. Thank you. That's good.
I know, son, and that just shows you how much I love you. You can always turn to me when you need a little help. You understand? And won't you please forgive me? Won't you please say that you're not angry at me anymore?
It's a difficult decision.
Oh, son, don't break your daddy's heart. I mean, I've learned a bitter lesson here. I'm repenting now. Can't we be like we always were? Better than we were. Son, I'll give you anything you want.
You will? What?
Well, you always had a hankering for a television set, right?
You're gonna buy me a TV?
Wait a minute, son. I didn't say buy. We're talking about an expensive item here.
You said anything I want.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll rent you one. That's what we'll do. We'll rent one till we find out whether this television season's going to be worth buying one. All right?
A portable set?
A portable television set.
When? When are you gonna get it?
I'll go out there and buy it right now. Is that good enough for you?
Wow!
Huh? All right. Meantime, I want you to go back to the room, okay?
Aww.
Son, now listen, I want you to get some rest. You got all head up worrying about vice and wickedness now, and I want you to get some rest. You understand?
All right, I'll try. But it's hard when you hate violence as much as I do.
I know, son, I know. And when I get back, I'm gonna fix you a hot bath. Nothing calms the body better than a hot tub, okay? Huh? All right.
How's everything, Mary? Did you have a good day?
Normal. You know, I'd say everything's just boring, thanks. Have there been any phone calls or like one big, great group letter from my family?
Mary, I'm sorry Group was so down tonight. But you see, whenever anyone goes away, even if it's just for a couple of days, it's very hard to deal with. You see, we're really very close. And Wanda, well, she's someone very special here.
I can see that. Nurse Gimbel, can I ask you a question?
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's just like you know everything about us. You know, we're patients, and you keep saying, you know, we're like a family.
Right.
But I don't know anything about you.
What do you want to know?
Well, to begin with, I've been very concerned about these injuries of yours. You know, first your neck, and then your arm, and...
Well, it's just little accidents at home.
Oh, really? Well, you see, that's the place where you have to be the most careful. I mean, Reader's Digest says that more serious accidents happen in the home than anywhere else. You know, like slipping in the shower.
Yeah.
What did you do to get yours?
Well, the first accident, actually, when I hurt my neck, was really responsible for everything. You see, I was oiling the leaves on my rubber plant.
You still do that? I thought it was proven, you know, like that soap and water were better for rubber plants.
Well, I don't know about the plant, but I am sure that soap and water would have been better for me. I was just saying goodnight to my plant. Its name is Goodyear. And just as I turned around, I slipped on one of the leaves that had fallen off. And it was coated with Wesson oil, so I really went flying. And that's how I wrenched my neck.
What about your arm?
Oh, it's still the fault of the leaf. I had on my neck brace and my bathrobe, and as I was walking by the bathroom door, the cuff on my sleeve caught on the doorknob, and I couldn't see it, so I just kept on walking. Anyway, it seems that it wrenched my arm out of its socket.
I read an article, and it talked about people who were accident-prone. And you sound exactly like one of them.
Oh, no, no. No, it really is nothing like that at all. It's just that I'm a little clumsy, and I really don't mind it all that much because my husband has become so much more helpful.
Hi.
Well, I've got to get back to work. I'll let you say goodbye to Wanda.
Oh, Wanda. Oh, you look wonderful. So chic.
Oh, well, it's all in how one accessorizes, Mary dear. Well, I really must be going. Now, I'll be back in a couple of days, but while I'm gone, I want you to look after everything here. The ward is in your hands now.
But why me? I mean, I'm new here. Are the doctors and nurses going too?
Oh, isn't that sweet? Doctors and nurses. Oh, that is sweet, Mary. Well, I really must fly now, darling. Now, take care of everything, especially Ronald. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Ronald? For the next 2 days, I am in charge here. And I tend to take my responsibilities very seriously. Always have. Mainly, we're gonna watch a lot of television to help build strong muscles. You know how important that they think that is.
The stars shine the brightest, the shows are the biggest, and the best
Ronald?
of the whole new season is right here on Fernwood's own Channel 6.
Ronald.
Laugh with America's great clowns. Thrill to action and adventure. Live romance, drama, and high emotion. The best and the biggest, the new television season
Ronald.
here on your own set,
Listen,
in
do you
your own
think like
living
you
room,
could just
in your own home,
try
in
to
your
show a
own
little
city of
more
Fernwood,
interest in what's going
night
on?
and every night.
I mean, I know the new season is...
Ah, that's a good boy.
If you could
good.
just try to
Now you don't sound like a phonograph anymore.
blink. Or breathe.
Hey, you better get back on that train.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Jean.
Or breathe.
I don't want to get back on the train. I want to go out to you, Angela.
Good, that's good. That's good, that's it.
But you've got a concert in San Francisco.
Who cares?
Your folks might care.
I haven't any folks. Just Uncle Louis. And he doesn't like me, except for the way I play my violin. If it hadn't been for Miss Nona, I'd be...
And when we don't watch TV, we can always look outside. Through this. This is a window, Ronald. On the other side of these bars is the rest of the world. External pressures are out there. But we have the bars up to keep us safe. While we're here, all we have to do is to rest and be comfortable. We couldn't be safer anywhere in the whole wide world. You know? And soon, if we behave ourselves, maybe they'll think we're safe enough to be let out of here. And we'll get to go home.